Yeah,
But
that's what I was
just to get the free coffee.
And if I were on the other side of that, and it wasn't really here's the thing, it wasn't really a bet. I said, if there's a white Christmas, I'll buy you coffee, because I was really excited with the prospect of white Christmas. I don't think if there wasn't that I got anything out of it.
No, I don't think so.
So
either.
I don't think it's a bet.
No, it wasn't really
just
a bet.
giving.
Yeah, it was actually the very kind of bet that I prefer.
I'm sure.
Which is there's no
downside
for me.
Yeah.
But only upside for me.
Yeah, only upside for you. So we talked to Dave Murray, like I said, and he made it the call official that we did technically have a white Christmas. But even he was like, so I'm like, okay, fine. But I go to Scooters every day, basically, and I get myself a coffee. And I thought, since the whole crew had to weather the wet roads, they weren't
It
bad,
really wasn't bad
at all.
No.
I mean, if it would have been raining, if you'd have been driving through a rainstorm, it would have been worse than what the roads were right now.
Yeah. Honestly, this is kind of the perfect kind of snow.
Yeah, it's going to be gone right away anyway.
It's going to be gone quickly. The kids got to play it this morning, are probably still playing it now. It's good packing snow for snowmans. I've seen some big snowmans as I was driving in. Good fort building, good snowball weather. I should probably go outside and get one to throw at you at some point, since you dared me to do that also. But yeah, the roads are pretty much fine. So good snow.
I went out this morning to clear off my car, and I went out there and I had my little broomstick, and then it was all falling off for me. I didn't have to do anything. It was all melted. Yep.
Just a stick, huh?
Yep, just
a stick. It's got some bristles on it.
Yeah.
I thought you drove a Jeep.
So I went this morning to Scooters and got coffee for everybody. And this is a really high maintenance crew when it comes to coffee orders, but I think all coffee orders are kind of high maintenance to begin with. What? You order decaf coffee. That is as high maintenance as it gets.
This is a black decaf Americano.
Coffee? I don't know. It seems pretty basic. But I don't know that world.
Why does somebody go to a coffee shop to buy decaf coffee? If I could just get the caffeine and not even the coffee, I would just be like, put it in my veins.
Clear something up for me, because I am new to this world. I love going to coffee places to get chai, but I can't really do sugar anymore. So I'm in a limbo world right now, and I'm figuring out what I have to do about it. Does decaf coffee have caffeine in it, or is it completely decaffeinated?
It's not. There's a little bit of caffeine in it, but
okay, so
it's
not
probably
like
less than a cup of iced tea.
Okay. So it's just less caffeine.
Significantly.
Annie, I like the same thing from Scooters that you order.
Well, so
here's not high maintenance.
This is what I get every day. Well, no, mine's high maintenance. I'm not saying mine's not high maintenance. Oh. Mine's like 8 words. It's a large. Let me count. Large, non-fat. It's non-fat's 1 word. It's hyphenated.
Yep.
Large.
We'll say 1.
Non-fat, sugar-free.
Ooh, that's 2.
No, it's not.
Okay, fine, 2.
Actually, it could probably be either. We'll make it 2. Okay. Vanilla latte.
If you're gonna give
with
1 hyphen for the
one, extra shot.
10 words.
Yeah. So that's what I get every day that I go to Scooters. And so I got you guys each small ones of those. I know that you had a large one the other day from Brad, like exactly the way I ordered. And you were shaking.
Basically drunk. Yes.
Like 6 hours later.
Yeah, I was really kind of freaking out. I was like, is this what coffee is supposed to do? My hands were shaking. I was kind of sweaty. Yeah, that was crazy.
And to be fair, I wasn't like, I'm going to get him. I messaged her. I was like, what do you want? She's like, just get me whatever Annie gets. I was like, all right. So I did my best out of my memory. What you got? I didn't say non-fat, but I said a skinny vanilla latte.
Skinny would imply non-fat and sugar-free, but I don't want the person who's making the coffee for the first time to just think that it just means non-fat or just means, so I'm
more particular.
Yeah, I think it's 113 calories for this. So it's with my oatmeal is like a 237 calorie breakfast with good protein and good healthy oats. So I'm very particular about it. And I don't want them to I don't want to be drinking something that's full of sugar if I don't know that it's full of sugar, especially at the start of my day.
Yeah. This is the first cup of coffee I've had since college.
So I said to Ryan, when I ordered him, when we made this bet before Christmas, his drink is a chai tea latte. And chai tea, you can't get very many places sugar-free, just by the way that the chai is, which a chai tea latte is fantastic also. But I had several of them. I think it was like in the fall, and I had to stop doing it because it was too good, but it's loaded with sugar.
Yeah, they're great.
And so I had a conversation with the lady at the Glen Carbon scooters. I was like, gosh, I got this guy. I think they know that you're like diabetic now.
Today you got this
Yes, this morning.
Oh, okay.
I go, man, his drink is a chai tea latte, but he just found out he might be diabetic. And is there any way to make that low sugar? No, there's no way. Oh man. So do I get him what he likes or do I get him what's good for him? So I opted to invest in your health and I got you a non-fat sugar-free vanilla latte. And I'm like, I have no idea if this is something that you would enjoy.
Oh, that's what this is.
It's
This
the
is
same thing I drink.
This is a vanilla latte. Okay. So this
I
isn't
knew you-
coffee.
Well, it's espresso.
Yes, it
But it
is.
has espresso. Yeah, okay. So it's not the same as coffee because I actually am liking this. Because I thought I don't like coffee, but I'm enjoying this.
It's
So I didn't know.
espresso.
That's how much I don't drink coffee. I don't even know what coffee tastes like.
Well, I
anymore.
figured we'd have to
That
roll
is
the dice
coffee.
because you're going to have to change your game anyway.
Yeah. So I did put a little cream in this, and I put about 4
It's-
packets of Sweet and Low in it.
Did you really?
I did.
Why?
Cow, dude.
Because I'm weaning myself off.
I'm weaning I put
4 packs is leaning himself off.
That's cream.
No.
You
Sweet and
added
Low, like
cream to the cream.
No, the
And then
packets.
sweet and low.
The packets.
Like
Yeah.
sweet and low.
Yes.
It's
Those
a
things.
latte. It's
Well,
like half
I'm enjoying
milk.
Hey, and there's
You
no
put
calories
creamer
that
in your
stuff.
latte?
Now I am getting a little shaky already because I'm going for it. 'cause
Man, I
don't-
should have gotten you an extra shot
I was
in
gonna
that
say.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Your health is too precarious for me to be screwing around with. Because
No.
I have loaded you up with sugar before
I know.
for the sake of
Oh,
the show.
man.
I know.
Feel a little regretful for that.
No, you wouldn't have known, and I gladly accepted those things, and I still would if I didn't have to not.
Ryan.
But I think I'm dabbling in different things, and so I appreciate this because it's something that I'm actually enjoying, and I didn't know that I would. I didn't know to order
Someday
it.
when I'm feeling generous again, so it could be a while,
Okay,
I'm going to get you another one of those.
okay.
And you need to drink the whole thing without saucing it up because part of the taste, like by the time you get halfway through it, it will taste sweeter halfway through than it does at the
Mhm.
beginning.
Okay.
So you got to like let it do its thing. And
Well,
next time I'll
yeah.
get you an extra shot if you want to know what that's like.
I don't know.
Oh, it's
I
a
don't know.
it's a wild
bit afraid.
ride.
You don't have a problem with caffeine, do you?
Well, you ever seen me drink alcohol?
That's not
About
caffeine.
5 minutes into drinking, I go, "Oh man, I'm wasted."
I don't care about that as long as it's not unhealthy for you.
Yeah. So
I would want to caffeine you up for the show, and
With-
then
with
I can write off
caffeine-
the coffee.
yeah, I think I can handle caffeine a little bit better. Is your concern the tax write-off? Is that what you just said?
Maybe.
Do you ever like listen to the podcast, the show, and be like, that was really funny that she
Yeah,
did there?
and sometimes I'll listen back and go, "Hey, that was good. She just dropped that in. I missed it."
And you said sweet and low. That would be the last sweetener that I
Uh-huh.
would use to
Really?
sweeten things. Oh my gosh.
Well, I think
Yeah.
I maybe used 2 Sweet and Lows and 1 Splenda and a stevia.
Oh my god.
Why?
Well, just
That
because
is, let me see that.
it was
cup.
before I even tasted it. I just knew because I thought it was coffee first of all, and I thought I know I've had coffee.
Did
in
you
the past.
taste it?
I didn't taste it before I put that in it.
That's like salting your food before you taste it.
Yeah, well, I do that too.
That's awful. This is 12 ounces of coffee.
Okay.
And you put 4 sweeteners in 12 ounces of a latte?
Is that inappropriate?
It's
I feel
your
like-
drink, but you are offending Scooters
I-
and me on behalf of Scooters.
Well, next time I'll know because I thought first of all I thought this was coffee, and I thought, well, there's no
Do
way.
you have to chew that? Good night.
It's a little gritty.
I can't get it through these tiny straws
I bet. You need
That's
a
why I took the lid off.
spoon.
because I got to drink it like this, like I'm drinking shots.
You put 4 packets of sweetener and 2
Hmm.
creamers into a 12-ounce latte that you hadn't tasted.
Yeah, and
That-
it's I'm
That already
digging-
has vanilla sugar sweetener.
Well,
in
I'm
it.
finding that out
To
now.
each their own. To each their own.
But maybe see this is the weaning process. Now I found a drink that I like, so next
Drank.
time I'll do drank. I found a drink I like. Next time I'll do 3 packets. The next time I'll do 2.
No,
and then
do
1.
this next time. Just take 1 sip of the drink before you modify it.
Well, maybe I should do
You
that
will
next
like
time.
it,
If,
Ryan.
if you took a sip of the drink, or maybe I would say like 2 or 3, and decided I need to do something to this, totally different reaction for me.
Okay.
The idea that you would put that much sweet into a cup of, like a small cup of coffee before you tasted it is mind blowing.
Well, I was basing this on a conversation I had with Brad about drinking unsweet tea because I used to love to drink sweet tea, but
Mhm.
the sweeter the better with everything, which is why I'm in the situation I'm in partially. But with unsweet tea now, I can drink it, but I just put a bunch of low calorie, the 0 calorie sweetener in it. And I'm like, all right, I think I beat the system here. So I was thinking that going into this drink, not knowing exactly what I was getting into.
It's wild. It's very wild. Well, anyway, thank you to Scooters, who has given us some delicious, I paid for it. It didn't give it to us, but great coffee. I go there every day and love it, and encourage you to find one that's near you. When we come back, somebody who might have you sitting back in your chair and sipping on something while you enjoy listening to Kevin McCarthy react to a really sassy reporter about the House majority, specifically the Speaker McCarthy's reactions and limitations on which Democrats get to be on which committees. Oh my gosh. Have you heard Kevin McCarthy respond to this reporter? He puts her in her place in the exact way that he should, with the facts behind the reasons that they've taken the action specifically to Adam Schiff. And it is glorious. And I can't wait to play it for you. We come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife, Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day, and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. Hypnosis is designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right, seminars, Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, St. Louis Airport in St. Louis, and Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton, St. Louis, Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminar.com.
TheDiamondShop.net. I'm pulling that up right now as we speak. I want you to understand how pleasant of an experience it is to go to the Diamond Shop, because for me, and I can think of the first time that my husband and I went into the Diamond Shop, was a little bit of not anxiety, but just a little nervousness, because we felt like we don't belong in a really nice diamond shop like this. We don't know what we're talking about. The instance that I was in there and I was speaking to Tom and Mona and the different people who are there to help you go through this process, and Nikki, you talk to them and you realize this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Now, you sandwich that group of people, if you were like we were when we first went into the Diamond Shop, with those who understand exactly what they're looking for. They see quality, they can identify quality, they know what they want, and they want their dollars to be invested in something beautiful and unique. You are welcome absolutely at the Diamond Shop as well. You can become a VIP by going to thediamondshop.net. You can learn about the financing options that they have, same as cash for 6 months. That's fantastic. Reach out to them. Tell them the Annie Frey Show sent you for your Valentine's Day shopping, your anniversary, your Mother's Day shopping that's coming up. They've got you covered. Go to thediamondshop.net.
Are you the type of person who loves their community and wants it to be the best it can be? Now it's easier than ever to do your part. Go to recyclemo.com to see just how easy it is to recycle the right way. Or if you already recycle and want to be as efficient as possible, recyclemo.com can tell you what should and should not be recycled in your area. Become part of the clean recycling movement today. It's the right thing to do. Sponsored by the Missouri Department of Natural Resources.
The federal government is hiring 87,000 new IRS employees and enforcement agents. Make no mistake, with spending out of control, they're looking to collect revenue. The first target will be you. If you have not paid your taxes or filed them in years, let me help you get that target off your back. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. So if you have unfiled returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When the weather is the story is on 97.1 with live local updates and up-to-date forecasts from 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Your local source for what's important. 97.1 FM Talk.
I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Achilles and his gifts, Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fist. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you want?
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Do, 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 do. Oh, I want something.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Man, today's YouTube live chat poll. And Brad, before we get into this sound, I'm going to ask you to answer the YouTube live chat poll. So if you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, there is a live video. You can watch the show every day. And in the chat portion, you can chat along. We have lots of people, usually have at least 100 people in there having a conversation about the show and what's going on. You can vote in the poll that is there. And today's is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or liability? And I think it's an interesting question. I wonder, I never try to ask a question where I know the results of the poll before I ask the question. That's important to the point of asking this poll, because I really want to know what y'all think about these things. But if you go back 3 weeks and you ask this question, dramatically different response, I would assume, than what we would get right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment.
Do you have an answer?
So I look at this and it's like, is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or liability? I've always been, I don't want to say Team McCarthy, but I was never the person that was like, I don't think this guy's good for us at all. He's a rhino, blah, blah, blah. I would vote him as an asset. I think that he's good. I think he's been more fire than I even expected him to be. I just thought he would be good, but I didn't think that he would be like as good as he's doing. Yeah.
I noticed on Twitter this morning a lot of people, and it's a lot of it surrounding this sound that I'm going to play for you here in just a second. A lot of people in my Twitter feed, and I follow a lot of conservatives. I follow some people who are progressives as well that are, out there with their thoughts and opinions on the thing, and they're not really hateful. I try not to follow really hateful conservatives either. It's just not worth the time in the day. But there were quite a few people who were saying, I got to admit, I didn't see this coming from McCarthy. To me, what we're seeing from Kevin McCarthy and what I'm about to play for you here is downstream from Donald Trump. And, regardless of your thoughts on Donald Trump, if you think that it's got to be nobody but Trump, he's the only one who can come back and do what needs to be done for this country. Or if you're in the boat of, I'd vote for Trump, but maybe somebody else could move the ball a little bit further down the field that doesn't have the baggage as Trump. Or if you're a never Trumper, watching Republicans fight back and stand on principle while they fight back is causing a lot of people to do a double take. I am incredibly skeptical as to how long this lasts, because the political capital that's gained out of any of these kind of big moves that are being made by the Republicans, while the spotlight is still on them, but it's starting to fade a little bit because of the new House majority. Watching the Republicans use this majority and the power that goes along with it is incredibly refreshing. So Fox News reports that Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy on Tuesday faced off against a reporter for removing Democrats from the House Intelligence Committee while allowing controversial Representative George Santos to sit on other House committees. Now, when I listened to this, I learned something that I didn't know before. Did you know that he was going to put Adam Schiff on other committees?
I didn't know that.
Or that he wasn't eliminated from participating on it? Like, the way a lot of people have been discussing this, it was that Schiff was not going to be permitted to be on any committees.
That was kind of the impression that I got, but I didn't know that.
The Swalwell, the Omar, the Schiff story and controversy, I think, during the fight to become the speaker was that they would be held off committees. That's the way I consumed it. And I'm thinking to myself, gee, I should have probably done a little more research on that. Listen to this reporter go after Kevin McCarthy. And man, the George Santos card, there are a lot of people on the left who think that the George Santos card is a huge, huge Trump card. You know how I know that? Because it pops up on a daily basis in our little teeny middle of the country, flyover country live chat on this show near daily. We've talked about George Santos.
We have.
We said on this show, I know that I specifically said on this show that I think it's up to the constituents in George Santos's district to demand his resignation. It should be up to them, the people who voted for him, to say, he duped us, we want him out, and it should be driven from the local area. But I did not think that he should be entrusted with any sort of leadership until he has gone back and won a race in New York based on the truth. So he should certainly get primaried the next time around. He would probably lose. Maybe he'd win. I don't think so. But if he wins the primary and then he wins the election and then he gets put back in because the people of his district have chosen him based on truth, then I think that he gets to be treated the way everybody else did. But if I'm Kevin McCarthy, I'm saying, no, you don't get positions of leadership. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I was too. He's a representative of that district, of those people in New York. Those are the people he lied to. He didn't lie to me. I didn't vote for him. I didn't have a vote for him. My rep is Mike Bost. I voted for him. I don't have any say in how these people of New York in that district choose their representative, just like I don't have any say in how the people in California choose Schiff or anyone else for that matter.
And
that's their rep.
And then the politicos that are in, and the elected officials that are in Congress in California or Texas or Florida or Missouri or Illinois should not get to influence who represents the people of that district. It should be up to them. If I were in that district, first of all, it's mind-blowing to me that George Santos was able to get as far as he was with the truth not being exposed. And I'll add to that the stories that are coming out about George Santos right now are like a Mad Lib of scandals.
Yes.
It's like they're just picking words out of the sky and putting them together, and it's the new headline around George Santos. It's unbelievable. Which is good because he's a liar. So when people, it's very frustrating. It's not frustrating, but it's annoying because it's lazy when people come to me and are like, what about George Santos? I'm like, I'm on the record with George Santos. I don't like him. I didn't put him there. I'm sure that if you went back to those people who voted for a Republican, that they had the opportunity to put the Democrat in office and they didn't choose that Democrat. Would they choose the Democrat over a lying Republican? Maybe. Let them make that call. But for the media, George Santos is a darling for the left agenda-driven folks. And they very much so go back to George Santos over and over and over again. This is one of these things that I want to tell you. When people throw George Santos at you, don't be saddled with their hysterics. Just be like, what about George Santos? He's not my rep. I didn't vote for him. The question to Kevin McCarthy was an assertion that he was out of line in his speakership to withhold Adam Schiff's appointment to the Intel Committee, which is where Adam Schiff has time and time and time again put his own personal political interests over the interests of the country and the interests of the people who he represents. He's a liar. He is a manipulator of you. And the fingerprints of Adam Schiff are all over the last 5-6 years of American history because he was emboldened to be a liar and a manipulator. So the press wants to know, Speaker McCarthy, George Santos on a committee, but Adam Schiff not on the Intel committee?
You just raised a question. I'm going to be very clear with you. The Intel committee is different. You know why? Because what happens in the Intel committee, you don't know. What happens in the Intel committee, although the secrets are going on in the world, other members of Congress don't know. What did Adam Schiff do as the chairman of the Intel committee? What Adam Schiff did, use his power as a chairman and lie to the American public. Even the inspector general said it. When Devin Nunes put out a memo, he said it was false. When we had a laptop, he used it before an election to be politics and say that it was false and said it was the Russians. When he knew different, when he knew the Intel, if you talk to John Radcliffe, DNI, he came out ahead of time and says there's no intel to prove that, and he used his position as chairman, knowing he has information the rest of America does not, and lied to the American public. When a whistleblower came forward, he said he did not know the individual, even though his staff had met with him and set it up. So no, he does not have a right to sit on that. But I will not be like Democrats and play politics with these, where they removed Republicans from committees and all committees. So yes, he can serve on a committee, but he will not serve on Intel because it goes to the national security of America. And I will always put them first. All right?
I hate this phrase, but boom. I don't like it when people say that, but that's the right appropriate use of it. To say that does Adam Schiff have a right to the Intel committee because he's just Adam Schiff? No, absolutely not. I would encourage Republicans to take note of what's going on right now and work like heck to make sure that we continue to grow our majority in the House, because turnabout's fair play. This is turnabout. This is fair play. The Republicans are reacting with reason. It isn't just petty, but they also aren't saying we're going to take the high road here and we're going to allow Adam Schiff. That's old, smarmy, swampy Republican stuff. They're not doing it now. Kevin McCarthy was supposed to be swampy. He probably still has a little toe dipping in the swamp just to make sure that he's as agreeable to everybody as he possibly can on a political level. I think I saw on our, Scooter said he raises a lot of money. That's his value to the party. Will he be able to pass legislation that becomes law? That's his value to the country. Tough question. Yeah. The YouTube live chat poll today is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or liability? Watching elections from where I sit, and especially the up close front row seat, and I'm talking front row seat that I have had, to the picking, the choosing, the supporting of candidates for office in the state of Illinois, but also on a broader scale here in Missouri and across the country to federal level seats. When I watch the selection process, and I see how political it is behind closed doors. I mean, man, when the political ads start getting to you, you're annoyed by it. You should be. They're annoying. It's just the way it is. But the jockeying that takes place behind the scenes and the vetting and the figuring out who can raise the most money, because money is king. Money is important. You can't say on principle, Kevin McCarthy, all he does is raise money, and because he raises money, that somehow makes him entitled to something. No, that's not what makes him entitled to this position. But if he is out working his tail off, just like anybody else is out working their tail off. I talked to Jason Chaffetz personally, sitting at a table at an event with him, and we talked about being in Congress. And I asked him, I'm like, you stepped away. Like, you were a high-level figure, a high-level spokesperson in Congress, and you stepped away. He goes, all you do is raise money. You get to enjoy winning an election for like 2 weeks, and then it's back to raising money. If you don't like that part of the game, you can't change it unless you first win that version of the game. You cannot make a huge impact on how this is affected in a successful way without first going into the system and winning the way the rules are set, and then having the guts to go through with making a difference and making a change. Kevin McCarthy raised a ton of money to get Republicans elected. And there are a host of issues that factor into why more Republicans didn't get elected. His ability to fundraise is not a qualification to become the Speaker of the House, but it's also not a disqualification. And I wish that kind of talking point on both sides would just be set aside for him. So he clearly states here that Adam Schiff should not have a position on the Intel Committee because he can't handle intelligence. He doesn't know how to respect. He doesn't concern himself with handling information. And he has used his position as the head of the Intel Committee to influence the country in a way that is deceitful. It is deceit. To understand what Adam Schiff did with the information he had to attack our president. You want to talk about collusion? I'm looking at you, Adam Schiff. And Kevin McCarthy said, no, I'm not telling you he's not going to serve on any committees, but he sure as heck isn't going to serve on that one.
And if you want to talk about Swalwell, let's talk about Swalwell, because you have not had the briefing that I had. I had the briefing and Nancy Pelosi had the briefing from the FBI. The FBI never came before this Congress to tell the leadership of this Congress that Eric Swalwell had a problem with a Chinese spy until he served on Intel. So it wasn't just us who were concerned about it. The FBI was concerned about putting a member of Congress on the Intel Committee that has the rights to see things that others don't because of his knowledge and relationship with a Chinese spy. They brought it to the works of the leaders. I've got that briefing. So I do not believe he should sit on that committee. And I believe there's 200 other Democrats that can serve on that committee.
There you go. Hard to argue with that. Who other than Eric Swalwell is out there advocating really, really hard that Eric Swalwell needs to be that guy? I don't think that there are many people who are. I guarantee you there are Democrats who aren't going to go in front of the press and say, I think I would be a better fit. And they're going to want to serve on that committee. Don't forget, all these committees, they pay. You get more money that way.
So this has nothing to do with Santos. Santos is not on the Intel Committee. But you know what? Those voters elected Schiff, even though he lied. Those voters elected Swalwell, even though he lied to the American public too. So you know what? I'll respect his voters too, and they'll serve on committees. But they will not serve on a place that has national security relevance because integrity matters to me. Woo! That's the answer to your question.
That makes me happy. That is the right answer. How refreshing is it to take a moment and acknowledge Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House, the leader of the Republicans in our House, and to hear him actually take a principled position. And I'm talking about Kevin McCarthy, who is not resoundingly loved by Republicans. Many people have questions about his ability to lead and his position and how he got to become the Speaker of the House. But in the same vein that he's going to look at George Santos, and effectively what he said there is called him a liar, and say the same thing about Adam Schiff and say their people still sent them. I question the George Santos part about that more than anything, because I feel like, let's talk about the timeline of when the lies were actually told. He's not keeping these people off of serving on committees, but he's taking the course of the recent history and saying, you are not qualified to serve in this capacity, and so you won't. And that's what happens when you have the gavel. That's what happens when you get the majority. So the next time you go to the ballot box, the next time you're talking to your friends about an election process or Republicans versus Democrats, this moment right here is why majorities matter. And his ability to put this into practice and say, this is how business is going to go forward in the 118th Congress, his ability to do things like this is magnified when he has more than a 4-seat majority, 5-seat majority, 6-seat majority. Get to work now, right, folks? If you're listening in St. Louis, if you're listening on the Illinois side of the river, there are people in our listener area who can improve Congress in 2 years. Who's it going to be? Don't wait to get involved. We have a lot of work to do. The YouTube live chat poll, is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or liability? I want to hear the whys. how you voted the way you did, but why you voted the way you did. And we'll maybe update that a little bit earlier during the show just to kind of get the pulse of what y'all are thinking when Hannah steps in with us. And when we come back, Wiggins America, girls are leaving dating apps and they're going to Home Depot. Looking for Mr. Fix-It? I don't know. Obviously, Ryan Wiggins is on the case. We'll talk to him when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
Some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this.
If you've been lied to by Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine, hi, this is best-selling author Don Chamberlain from right here in Greater St. Louis, and I want to give you a copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth, because according to Time magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans and 401ks and IRAs have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I had enough. There may be a way to grow your money when the market goes up, potentially double digits in good years, reduce taxes, and have my principal protected if the market declines again. Call Chamberlain Group now to get my free book and talk to me personally to discover the strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose principal if the market declines again. Call 1-800-807-3838 to discover this asset, and I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-807-3838. That's 1-800-807-3838. Again, 1-800-807-3838.
Your grocery budget could use a little bit of relief. That's why I shop at Ruler Foods. Probably going to be making a stop at the Collinsville Ruler Foods tomorrow. Usually we go like after basketball practice. It's super simple to walk and navigate through the aisles at Ruler Foods. I love how clean and accessible it is to shop there, and the savings. I mean, there are things that you save so much on, like basic kitchen staples that you need that are outrageously expensive in other places. You can save on those things at Ruler Foods. The savings are so big that I'm not even 100% sure I can tell you right now the prices on them. If you go to rulerfoods.com, you will see where your closest Ruler Foods is. And if you don't have one that's really close to your house, maybe you've got one that's close to your work. It's worth the stop to save on produce, on protein that you can get frozen. You can get great ground beef in 3-pound rolls, 73% lean, $2.49 a pound. They also have all the name brands that you are usually shopping along with Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices. I want you to check out Ruler Foods. Make sure you tell them when you stop by, hey, I heard about you guys on the Annie Frey Show, and you can let them know what you thought. You'll be very glad you did. I certainly have been with my family's grocery budget. Go to rulerfoods.com.
If you own a home in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes stlouis.com at 314-782-8000 and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant homes, inherited homes, fixer-uppers, beautiful homes, even the tenant who won't pay the rent apartment. Google us, Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out our best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to our website, chrisbuyshomes.stlouis.com, or call Chris at 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000, and get the offer you've been waiting for. 314-782-8000.
It's 2023 and it's time to get your home zero resified with all new services, 23% off. You must book in January. Call right now, 314-474-2020, or book online at zeroresstl.com. Ask for the Mark Reardon special. That's 314-474-2020.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Celebrating 22 years as St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Thanks for being a part of it.
right. Thank you for tuning in to Wiggins America. If you are watching us on the YouTube channel, you will see that Ryan Wiggins is not in the studio.
There he is,
He's back.
fashionably late.
Hi, this is your segment, dude. We could have played the intro and buy him a little more time.
Yeah, you out.
Wiggins! There it is. Oh!
You need to catch your breath?
No, because I didn't run to a mic. It's a rule. You do not
Pro
run.
radio.
That's why you were late.
That's why I was late, because I wasn't running. That's right. So did we play the sound yet? I'm new to this.
I don't know. It's your sound. You ran out of the room to put it in the folder.
Yeah, and it should be there now, but I'm not sure. Oh, good. So do you want to go ahead and play it?
It's your segment.
But you've got the access.
Look,
to
I
it.
know you're tired. The whole world is tired.
That's what's in here.
No, what the heck is going on?
What is this? It says it's for December 21st. What is this?
Look, I know you're tired. The whole world is tired.
Right?
Daylight saving is because of everything else going on in the world. Everybody's tired. But I
What is that?
know why you're here, too. It's because my milkshake brings them boys to the yard.
Wiggins America.
Ryan,
Solid
what are you
entertainment,
doing?
conservative politics. This appointment-setting show is now available to fill in your weekend.
Exactly.
Whoopsie.
Jeremy Murphy is on the phone with his former vice president of communications at CBS.
What the heck is this?
It's like a sales reel for my show.
Man.
I don't know how that ended up there.
You're making a sales reel for your show?
Well, you put together like a nice reel for your show.
And you put in the song Milkshake?
Yeah, I did.
Is it possible
That'll sell.
that you got kind of crossed up because you've labeled every piece of audio
They're all
Wiggins
labeled
America?
Wiggins America, so I
Brad,
grabbed one.
Can we just set aside whatever Ryan Wiggins has not prepared for right now? And can you just give us the background of how Wiggins America comes to be every day?
So we get a text message, and it's like, I'm thinking about.
What the heck was that?
We couldn't have written a better Wiggins America. right?
No,
I'm a little-
that
this
sums
is-
up all of
This
Wiggins
is hard
America.
to do, but I am a little embarrassed. And I don't get embarrassed very easily. And I feel like an idiot. I'm so sorry. The freaking thing. It was supposed to be a girl talking about TikTok dating. And it was like the Wiggins America sales presentation.
Look, I know you're tired. The whole world is tired because of daylight saving. It's because of everything else going on in the world. Everybody's tired, but I know why you're here, too. It's because my milkshake brings them boys to the yard.
Wiggins America.
Yeah.
Does this make people want to sponsor your show?
Oh my gosh.
We're working on that. I mean, that's kind of like the wheels are getting turning.
Hannah, we have the audio for the dance video.
Yeah.
Milkshake. Okay, yeah, we can do milkshake. I'd be less embarrassed by doing a milkshake dance
We're gonna put that.
than by this segment.
We got to put that intro into it, though.
Oh, boy.
Ryan. So hold on. Back to Brad.
So
Yeah.
Ryan sends us a text message with the topic, and we look at the topic like, is this going to be good for it or not, and whatever. And there's some negotiations, and we come up with a topic.
Yeah.
And then what usually happens is I write that down on the show sheet, I put it up there, print out the show sheet. We come in here, and then Ryan will come in. I don't know, right before the break starts, and be like, "I've got audio for you. It's in the folder." And
Usually
then
not in the correct
yeah,
folder.
but sometimes it's not in
But then let's talk about the folder.
the folder. Well, first of all, like Hannah said, sometimes it's not in the right folder, but then it's in the right folder. And so one of the things is this is a little behind the scenes. We like to use Google Drive for our show audio because what that does is it makes it searchable. So if Annie wants to pull up an old clip, like if you're ever wondering how Annie always has that Joe Biden clip with him sounding
Or
like
randomly can find something quickly.
Right.
That's how.
She searches it in the drive, she pulls up an audio clip, and she's got it. But that's all like contingent and hinges on your ability to label it. So if she searched for Ryan's Wiggins America audio, he's labeled everything Wiggins America. Or
Every
WA.
single file that it's not even Wiggins America. It's just labeled WA.
Sometimes. There's really not a lot of consistency to it.
And so usually we don't play the audio because we're not sure if it's the right audio or not. And sometimes
And look what happens.
you get the right.
Look what happens.
Get the-
Most of the time it's
Look,
the right
I know
audio.
you're tired. The whole world is tired.
There's an actual clip from my show.
Why is it echoey? Why are you in an atrium while you're saying
Yeah,
that?
it sounds like I did some sort of effect to it. Maybe I did.
You
I was trying to
did.
be
This is
fancy.
what. There's no.
Because of daylight saving, it's because of
Ooh, yeah.
everything else going on
Sounds
in the
nice.
There's an echo, which is the
Yeah.
opposite of what you you want on audio?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe I want a
Ryan.
little reverb on there, make it sound
It's
like I
true.
was a
You and I might have different
Yeah.
thoughts and opinions on what the real end goal is.
yeah. Yeah. So
World,
Yeah.
everybody's tired, but I know why you're here too. It's because my milkshake brings them boys to the yard.
Wiggins America.
Oh.
I can't believe that's seeing the light
I'm just
of day.
curious.
I thought that was,
Neither can I.
you know, just
I thought
for-
that was going to be about
just for
Home
maybe
Depot.
some
I'm just
salespeople and-
imagining a salesperson pitching that to a business. It's like, look, we've got this great show, Wiggins America, very professional.
Oh,
The
Ryan.
guy sitting across from him in a suit and tie.
I had to fill out a little more behind the scenes. I had to fill out a personal profile. I think we probably all have had to do that. Annie, you've had to do that, where you have to fill out your profile for the sales team so that they know causes you're passionate about, things that you like doing outside of here for sales. And they were asking me, well, what's your like charity that you're most passionate about? And I said, well, we do we do some overseas mission work and stuff like that. And they're like, no, we really want more local stuff because it has to do with the community. And so I just made up a charity, and I was like,
Ryan.
just put this down. It was obvious that it was made up, and I thought it would be funny. And they were like, no, we will not do that.
That's shocking.
I remember coming across this argument.
Yeah, it was pretzels for pups. I said, just put pretzels for pups down. And they're like, no, we're not making up a fake charity. So we didn't. And this is all not even radio stuff. This is the stuff I expected to be talking about today. But here we are talking about it anyway.
The moral of the story is to label your audio.
Yeah. Label it Wiggins America.
Label it.
Label it, yep.
Label it with the Waypo Miski.
Oh, I wish we had Wayple Miski. You know what would be good in that latte?
What?
Wayple Miski.
Wayple Miski. Oh man.
You want to try this again at 1:45? Can't be worse.
Yeah, that would be great.
Label
yeah.
your audio correctly, please.
Let's do this at 1:45.
Yeah.
Wiggins America, take 2. The correct version. You think you can handle that?
No, apparently I can't.
You want another shot at it or no?
Yeah, I do. I want another shot at it because I think this is a really funny story. This TikTok thing. Let's do this. Let's do this at 1:45.
Have you read the story?
Now I have time.
I know. I was
going
to suggest that maybe you did.
Now that I will.
Did you read the story?
Yes, of course I did.
The whole thing?
Yes, I had audio from it.
No, I don't believe you. I don't think you did. Let's talk to Deroy Murdock and Joe Concha in the 1 o'clock hour. And like I said, Wiggins America, take 2 at minimum at 1:45. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Hey, do you need to get your teeth cleaned because you've been drinking too many milkshakes? I did it for you, Brad. That is why I'm talking about Fountains Family Dentistry. Fountains Family Dentistry makes it easy to do all of that work because it is so hard to work in something like a teeth cleaning into your schedule. That's probably why you're behind. That's probably why you haven't done it in too long. A lot of people didn't in COVID too. So if it's been that long, even if it's been a couple of years, check out Fountains Family Dentistry, fountainsfamilydentistry.com. Easy to make an appointment. I've said before that one of the best things about that practice is not only that they're super nice, they're going to make you feel super comfortable while you're there, but they make it easy to make those appointments. They are open late on some days, early on some days. depending on the day, and that's all to accommodate your schedule. So check them out at fountainsfamilydentistry.com. They're in Fairview Heights, Illinois. And again, they are about as nice as it gets. So give them a call, but you can start right there at fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The world is united. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from President Biden as the U.S. and multiple allies prepare to send tanks to Ukraine.
These tanks are further evidence of our enduring, unflagging commitment to Ukraine and our confidence in the skill of the Ukrainian forces.
Getting them onto the battlefield may take months. Russia considers Western tanks an escalation.
As the president said, they don't represent an offensive threat to Russia. Do they represent a threat to Russian soldiers? You bet they do, but not to Russian soldiers that are in Ukraine, not to Russia proper.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says the tanks are meant to help Ukraine defend its territory and retake territory. A jury is seated in South Carolina for the trial of once prominent attorney Alex Murdock, accused of killing his wife and one of his sons and already disbarred over previous charges of stealing millions of dollars from clients. Opening statements now planned for this afternoon. Federal prosecutor.
This week, attorneys for Tyre Nichols' family said they'd seen the Memphis police footage of the confrontation with Tyre. They said he was beaten like a piñata and died 3 days later. Police said Nichols had tried to run after they pulled him over on a traffic stop. Now, Tennessee's U.S. Attorney Kevin McCarthy says they've opened a criminal civil rights investigation. That, he says, may take some time. As for the video, the plan is to release it to the public soon, but the timing, he said, is up to local authorities.
We want people to express their right to be heard, but we want them to do so in a peaceful and nonviolent way.
The 5 officers involved have been fired.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Crews are battling a high-rise fire in Chicago that's now blamed for at least 1 death, 6 others taken to the hospital. There's no word yet on a cause. America is listening to Fox News.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Windy and cold on this Wednesday afternoon. Snow flurries flying around from time to time. A 35 for the high, but feels colder. Down to 28 tonight. Lots of clouds, flurries in the early evening. Windy all night long. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. Gusty winds and a cold 32. But after a cold start on Friday, warm it up to 45 Friday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
When the weather is the story is on 97.1 with live local updates and up-to-date forecasts from 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray, your local source for what's important. 97.1 FM Talk.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. No matter how many times you tried to quit, this hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis, and Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, January 25th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Gamebridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday, 314-530-7777.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
We're going to have to use the debt ceiling and the spending fight in September to demand that Biden do the right thing. And H.R. 29 is the right path forward. Detain like current law requires under asylum adjudication. We will allow asylum claims, but you got to be detained. That's what the law requires. This administration is trying to use asylum and parole policies to end run their actual duty, their actual oath to secure the border of the United States. I've had it. We're going to do something about it. And I'm going to make my Republican colleagues join us in that effort.
So in the last hour, you got to hear Kevin McCarthy clapping back at this reporter who was like, George Santos. And he's like, here's why Adam Schiff is not going to be on the Intel committee. But he said, I will honor the people in Adam Schiff's district and allow him to serve on a committee. It's just not going to be that one because Adam Schiff has done enough to say that he cannot handle that kind of responsibility. The question about what these Republicans in the House are going to do and how they're going to continue to move forward, we are going to be able to get a very good picture of what the 2022, the 2023, and eventually the 2024 Republican Party stands for. And at the same time, we're going to get to see the same thing about what the Democrat Party stands for. And somebody who's covering this, of course, top to bottom, left to right, Deroy Murdock. We welcome him back onto the show, a nationally syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor and a weekly guest here on the Annie Frey Show. Deroy, thanks for giving us some more of your time. Welcome back.
Oh, my pleasure, Annie. Great to talk to you.
Yeah. So tell me what you're seeing so far. We have a YouTube live chat poll today, and it says, is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or liability? You don't necessarily have to react to that unless, of course, you want to. But we're starting to see how this is unfolding on both sides of the aisle and getting a better picture of where these parties stand on the big key issues.
Yeah, I mean, I would call him an asset at this point. I mean, obviously his election was rough. We saw those 15 ballots over most of the first week of the new Congress came back. But since then, he's been keeping his caucus together. He had a couple of votes on abortion in particular where he backed the Democrats into a corner, and they made complete fools of themselves when they had the opportunity to do the right thing, and they sure didn't. And now I think he's pointed out the Democrats with this situation with Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and Leon Omar not being on those three committees and him removing them. This is basically, you can defend this on the basis of Adam Schiff being a serial liar, Eric Swalwell sleeping with a Chinese agent some years ago, and Leon Omar being the Elon Omar being probably the biggest anti-Semite on Capitol Hill. I think you can defend it frankly, on the basis of vengeance and revenge. The Democrats need to be taught a lesson, which is if they're going to do things like what Nancy Pelosi did, which was to remove people from committees such as Jim Banks and Jim Jordan from the January 6th committee, which never was done. It was always looking at the Republicans put their people in committees, Democrats put their people in their committees, and Pelosi, the Democrat, reached out across the aisle and said, okay, you two Republicans get off the committee. That's never been done before. So she set this precedent. And I think what Republicans are doing, thanks to McCarthy, is saying, look, you guys are going to behave that way. You're going to get a nice slice of payback when we're back in control. Maybe this will teach Democrats to stop behaving this way. And if they need to be taught a lesson this way, then let's teach them that lesson.
Yeah, I think that it's refreshing to see. I don't know if were you able to see Kevin McCarthy's comments to that reporter about the Adam Schiff? I don't know if you saw that exchange today.
I missed that today.
It's really must listen to, must watch video. But he makes the point that Adam Schiff he's removed himself from being able to serve on these committees. I mean, you don't have to dig too deep to realize he can't handle having the intelligence that he's provided with because he manipulates it and he uses it for his own personal agenda. And he's gone as far to say, I'm not going to keep him from serving on any committee, but he can't serve on this one. I actually think that this is more than just turnabout's fair play. It's not really petty. It makes sense. It's principled. And he is giving Adam Schiff a little bit more than he could because that's not how the Democrats treated Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar, to my knowledge, were on no committees. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene served on no committees in the last Congress. I'm not sure about Gosar. He was definitely yanked off one committee. I don't know if he served on any. But yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene was on 0 committees. Schiff will be on another committee, but not intelligence. And look, it's not just that Adam Schiff is particularly liberal or left-wing or whatever. I mean, I guess you're able to be left-wing and be on committees. He for 3 years lied over and over and over relentlessly to the American public, saying that Donald J. Trump was a KGB a Russian asset, and that he was taking his orders from the Kremlin. And he said, I have incontrovertible proof of this. I have smoking gun evidence, open and shut case. And for 3 years, we all waited for him to come out and say, okay, here's the report that proves this. Here's the intelligence intercept or any evidence. I called his office on 3 different occasions and said, I emailed and called both. And I said, listen, I would love to write about this smoking gun evidence about proving Donald J. Trump works for Vladimir Putin. I heard nothing back. And the last time I said, listen, if I don't hear back from you, I'll have to assume that this evidence does not exist. And I left, again, voicemails and emails to him, to Adam Schiff's press team. Yeah. I never heard a syllable back from these people, which tells me he never had that evidence, and he lied about it non-stop for 3 straight years, which led this country, half the country, think, oh my God, the guy in the White House works for the Kremlin. And can you think of a better way to divide, confuse, and pit half the country against the other, which is what we had. And Adam Schiff was the chief architect of that gigantic big lie. And for that, he ought to be punished, and thus it's totally appropriate to yank him off the House Intelligence Committee.
We're speaking with Deroy Murdock. He is a Fox News contributor, nationally syndicated columnist. I am looking at the issues that are at the center of a lot of the political fights. They're the most salacious. They're the ones that can grab the most headlines because there are a lot of important things that get done in Congress, oftentimes in a bipartisan way, that are mundane and they just don't break into the news cycle. But the big issues that are facing Americans all across the country, like their safety and security, like the respect for law enforcement, it's led to a problem of being able to retain people who are willing to serve in law enforcement. And, we just saw in Atlanta this past weekend, more riots. That's what they are. They're Antifa riots, and they are trying to push back against this idea of law enforcement and the value that they have to creating safe and secure communities. I'm sitting in St. Louis right now. We have a gross problem in this city due to these same problems that Atlanta is facing across the rest of the country. And I see such a departure from the left and the right, at least out in the open, when it comes to this discussion on the most basic thing of being able to support law enforcement. Is there a bipartisan Congress that could come together to solve this issue, or is that a pipe dream?
Well, I'd like to think that they could agree on this issue, but I mean, we're at the point now where the left gets up and says, look, if you smash the windows in Atlanta and set a police car or two on fire, that's not violence. It's only violence if you physically hurt people. So go ahead and trash, I was going to say your city, trash cities where things, where the left wants to show up and attack. Turns out 6 of these Antifa people were arrested. One of them was from Georgia. The others were from out of state. I think one of them was as far away as Oregon in one case. And another one is one of these Trustafarians who lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion with his mommy and daddy in Kennebunkport, Maine. I imagine not too far from the Bush family compound. So these people come across state lines, engage in this total mayhem, and then you have people on MSNBC and CNN saying, "Oh, it's not really violence. These are maybe peaceful protests that happen to involve smashed windows and burning police cars." So, I mean, if we can't even agree on that, I'm not sure how we come together on supporting the police. I wish we would, because we have, in St. Louis, I live in New York, massive rampant runaway crime problem. And the response from a lot of people on the left is either continue to defund the police, or like we saw in Washington, D.C., they're actually decreasing the penalties for carjacking. There's a carjacking explosion in D.C., and the city council said, hey, let's lower the sentences and penalties for carjacking. I mean, it is extraordinary, and you really have to conclude that the Democrats and the left want this mayhem. They want this carnage. They want this chaos. This isn't a bug. This is a feature, and we're dealing largely with cultural Marxists and revolutionaries, and the more strife and tension and chaos they can create, the better.
Deroy, when I think about, and I'm so glad you brought up the travel that is involved in these types of protests. For some reason, the people of Atlanta aren't interested in their own unrest. They get shipped in from outside, very well-funded outside interests that come and descend on Atlanta and ravage their city. We've seen it here in St. Louis. We've seen it across the country. I want to tie that into Adam Schiff, because when we look at the presidency, the first term of Donald Trump, and we see all of the noise and the drama and the salacious nature of the concerns that people had with President Trump, how much of that came from Adam Schiff? These are manufactured crises that are having a real life impact on the daily lives of people like me who come downtown to St. Louis to work every day, or people who used to live in the city and they love it here, but they can't stay because it's not safe, because people find value in disruption and the creation of chaos that has real life implications. I'm curious, being in New York City, Deroy, what is the end game here? Because if chaos is the mechanism for the end game, it's very frightening to think about where this could go.
Yeah, again, we're so far, we're light years beyond the Democrat Party of Hubert Humphrey and Walter Mondale and Jimmy Carter, even Bill Clinton. We're dealing with many people who are radical Marxist revolutionaries in Congress, in city halls. You've got basically people who are so-called DAs, who are, some of them are openly Marxist, whose idea of justice is just let the criminals run loose. Just, oh, sorry, we arrested you, sir. Please go back on the street and continue your criminal career. And I think some of these people, what they really want is they want a Marxist revolution. They want chaos in the streets. They want riots. They want the George Floyd situation to go on and on, like the riots we saw back then. And if out of that we emerge with a revolutionary Marxist U.S. government, that's what these people want. We're dealing with essentially the grandchildren of groups like the Weather Underground and the Black Panthers. We're not just dealing with the local Democrat Party. We're dealing with people who are way, 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 way left of there. And you'd think the Democrat Party would say, look, we have nothing to do with these people. We reject them. We reject their approach. Just a couple weeks ago, the House had a vote. I'm writing a piece about this, which should be online tonight or tomorrow, and it looked at the incredible violent pro-abortion attacks that took place after the Dobbs decision. There's a group called Jane's Revenge. They took credit for at least 12 attacks on pro-life centers in 8 states and the District of Columbia. And I wrote my piece, Earth to Attorney General Merrick Garland. This is the quintessence of conspiracy across state lines. Where's the Department of Justice on these people who are not protesting for abortion or picketing or lighting candles? They're attacking pro-life pregnancy centers, setting fire to churches, and the response to the federal government is basically, who cares, whatever, because I think they support these people. They love this violence, or at least they don't care about it. And these people are getting away with this because a lot of people in the White House and across the federal government and elsewhere, Democrats from coast to coast, seem to be very comfortable with a pro-left political violence.
Yeah, it definitely has to change. And I think that the solution, here locally or across the country, I get really tired of the thought of having to wait for the next election for Republicans to get elected so they can go in and fix the problems. It seems as though there's not a political party out there that's really going to solve this. It's going to have to come within the community. Culture has to change. What we value has to change. And then people within those communities, probably on an entirely more local level than Congress, are going to have to step in and say, we've had enough.
I think we need leadership from the bottom to the top and the top down, and everybody needs to get involved. And a big part of it, I've said this almost every week I've been on with you, the GOP and the right have just got to stop being so nice. The left needs to be confronted, denounced, humiliated, demoralized, and we need to be as tough on them as they are on us, if not more so.
Well, Deroy, we're going to be able to watch that House majority do what they can with what they've been granted by the American people. And we are so grateful that you're here with us each week to break it down. Thanks for being back with us, Deroy.
My pleasure, Annie. You be well. Thank you.
You as well. Nationally syndicated columnist, Fox News contributor, Deroy Murdock. I got to be honest, every once in a while, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about Ryan Wiggins and that milkshake song, and I have to avoid laughing out loud in the middle of a conversation with Deroy Murdock or, Joe Concha coming up.
Oh, the giggles at the most inopportune time. It's the hardest thing. You just sit there and you're like, you're not allowed to laugh. And then it just keeps going and going.
If you just joined us and you've never downloaded the Odyssey app, not interested in the Odyssey app, today's the day. You download the Odyssey. This is what you do, folks. You download the Odyssey app. You follow 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis's home for conservative talk. And you click rewind. That's how you go to 12:45 today when the most epic meltdown of a Wiggins America ever has happened. It's right there for you. This is worth your time. Delete the app when you're done. I don't even care. Do that today. You will be so glad you did. When we come back, Joe Concha is going to be with us, and I am excited to talk to Joe. Always love having him on the show. Man, that guy's got some fire and energy, and he always takes us on a journey, it seems like, when we're having those conversations with him, like down the streets of New York City or moving in and out of his room, picking up kids, whatever it might be. Joe Concha joins the Annie Frey show when we come back, and we'll talk about the key issues facing the country, specifically a little bit about that congressional clapback of Kevin McCarthy, if he was able to hear that, and also the debt ceiling fight. How's that going to end up? And you think Joe Concha has any thoughts on the Biden document scandal, now the Pence document scandal, on top of the Trump document scandal and the Hillary Clinton? It's everywhere, folks. Do you have documents you're not supposed to have? Maybe Joe does. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Everyone here knows Diamonds Direct is the place to go for the best diamonds at the best prices. But did you know that savvy buyers from all over America, even Los Angeles and New York, now come here to buy their diamonds? These high-end shoppers have discovered that Diamonds Direct has one of America's best selections of large, rare diamonds, from 3 carats to 20 carats, all certified by the GIA, the most reputable and most trusted gem lab in the world. Because of Diamonds Direct's international connections and tremendous buying power, we're one of only a handful of jewelry stores in America that is able to offer a large selection of rare and precious GIA diamonds. In fact, Diamonds Direct's multi-million-dollar selection includes a stunning array of high-end Riviera necklaces, 20-carat tennis bracelets, and an extraordinary collection of rare, precious gemstones, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, and even the really hard-to-find fancy yellow diamonds. Come see why Diamonds Direct right here is the destination for high-end shoppers all over America. Extraordinary selection, quality, and unmatched value. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. DiamondsDirect.com.
So let's talk about your HVAC system and if it's working appropriately. The insulation in your house can be working against a very well-functioning furnace. That 9 out of 10 homes are under insulated. And if you are heating your house, and have you looked at your energy bill yet? Ugh, They've all gone up. It's very difficult to think about your furnace working overtime when it's cold outside, when the winter months are here. Of course, your air conditioner in the summer as well, to know that that energy is seeping out of your home because it's under insulated. Air Comfort Service is the solution. They can help you work with this problem to rectify this problem. Corey and the team at Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling are proud to offer insulation services right now. When they're under insulated, your HVAC system has to work harder than it needs to. That's going to cost a lot of money. Think about securing your home, the insulation, so that you don't have to worry about losing all of that energy that you're investing in. With a properly maintained HVAC system and proper insulation, you're going to see increase in your energy savings, an increase in your comfort zone within your own home, and better indoor air quality. Call Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. And ask them to come check out your insulation issues today. aircomfortservice.com/insulation.
Have you been lied to by Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, this is best-selling author Don Chamberlain from right here in Greater St. Louis, and I want to give you a copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth, because according to Time magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans and 401ks and IRAs have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I had enough. There may be a way to grow your money when the market goes up, potentially double digits in good years, reduce taxes, and have my principal protected if the market declines again. Call Chamberlain Group now to get my free book and talk to me personally to discover the strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose principal if the market declines again. Call 1-800-807-3838 to discover this asset, and I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-807-3838. That's 1-800-807-3838. Again, 1-800-807-3838.
Sweetheart, sugar, cutie pie. Love is sweet. Your Valentine's Day gift should be too. Visit Shane Company for unique fine jewelry. It's a great way to show your special someone how well you know them and that you love everything about them. With our amazing selection of colorful gemstones, why not select a style with their favorite color? We have natural sapphires in every color of the rainbow, rubies as red as a rose, topaz as blue as the sky. Or tell your love story with a charm necklace. Choose from dozens of symbolic charms. Get a zodiac charm because your stars are aligned, or a compass charm because you're on a journey together. You could also select an engravable style, like a beautiful locket or a gold bar necklace. We'll inscribe a message on it, a love note to your Valentine. At Shane Company, we have so many easy ways to make your gift more personal. For more ideas, talk to a jewelry consultant today. Your Valentine's Day gift will be a treat.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and Shaneco.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
To the United States Senate, Eric Schmidt.
I've been here for about 5 minutes and everybody's talking about raising the debt ceiling again, but nobody on the Democrats has focused at all about actually making some smart decisions.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
What you know, Joe? I don't know nothing. What you know, Joe? Tell me something. What you know, Joe?
It seems unimaginable to me that you would have. I mean, these are big red. We've seen these things, big red borders. This isn't just some. It is clear what this is. Yeah. Hard to figure out how.
So by marking, they mean like a big red flag.
It's like a big warning sign. Do not trespass. It's clear that these don't just have little words on the bottom. This is something that is unescapable when you just stare at it from 20 feet away.
Calibri, right? 1 point there on the bottom.
No,
you got to get them right. No, it's like
no. This is big. This is big stuff.
Mike Pompeo, who probably knows a little bit about classified documents. He was Secretary of State. He was the director of the CIA. He's been on the House Intel Committee. He knows a little bit about this, talking about the dramatic nature with which top secret information is indicated. I have to ask Joe Concha, who's on with us now. He's a political columnist at The Hill, Fox News contributor. Have you checked your attic for classified documents?
I have, as a matter of fact.
You find anything?
And I can report that I have nothing but things I should have thrown out 20 years ago.
Like everybody else.
I mean, what's my problem is, Annie?
What is it?
It's throughout my house. There are all these bins, right? These hampers with clothes in them.
Uh-huh.
I don't know whether they're clean or dirty.
I know. How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
You have 2. I have 4. And I had a mental. There was judgment in that.
No, I mean, I'm in awe of you of 4 because 2 I could barely handle.
It's
so double
unbelievable. There's nothing like laundry with kids in the house. I had like a mental breakdown over the last long holiday weekend, and we shipped the kids off to the grandparents, and my husband and I spent 18 hours doing laundry. I'm not even joking.
No, it's not a joke. You're exactly right. You could just stare at it and be like, wait a minute, clean, dirty. All right, it's probably dirty, so I'm going to wash it again. And then their clothes are so small, they're really hard to fold. And then by the time you get through everything, you're right. It's a full day. And I don't know what the solution is, but I think we've gone off on a tangent.
This is more important in my life, for sure. Yes. But yeah, your classified documents. Is this really an issue that anybody has faced in the past and may face in the future? Or who's at fault here?
Whoever would be in charge, and maybe there isn't anybody in charge of this, of making sure that classified documents don't leave the White House, the vice presidency, the presidency, the Senate, right? The SCIF. We keep hearing a lot about the SCIF, right? As it pertains to Biden and the Senate. All I know is this. When I tried to steal booty call one time, right, out of a Blockbuster, okay? I didn't try to steal. I forgot I had it in my hand type of thing, and I just kind of like was wandering out. And those alarms went off like you think you just broke into Fort Knox. Like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Why can't we have that with classified documents? We have the technology. Just put a chip on them all. And if they get moved out of a certain place where they shouldn't be moved out of, an alarm goes off. And that's that. Because, look, it appears that everybody's done this, right? Trump, then Biden, then Pence. Hey, anybody check out Dan Quayle lately? Maybe he's got a couple of classified documents. Yeah, good point.
He's safe.
Or who made this? Al Gore? I mean, so it seems like anybody could just walk out with these things. So here's the thing. I don't think that Trump is walking out of the White House with a box, right? Looking both ways. Anybody see me? All right, good. Same with Biden. Same with Pence. I think legal teams pack this stuff up. I think they know what they're doing. I think there's a reason why they're doing it. I don't know if it's nefarious or not. I guess we'll find out maybe, but it's just too easy to take these things out. In the end, this story is now, I hate using the term, a nothing burger for all 3 of these men because it's everybody does it type of thing. It's like drinking in high school. Oh, you're underage. Yeah. Okay. Stop me. Right. It's like, it doesn't matter. So I don't know what this means now, except that I guess Trump went from being, maybe he'll be indicted to he can't possibly be indicted now, nor can Biden be in any trouble. It's just everybody sucks moment.
I remember when they were talking about, Trump sympathizers after the Mar-a-Lago raid, explaining how there are decades-long negotiations between what does belong to the individuals who are in the White House and what belongs to the people or to the National Archives, and saying this is a common occurrence. And it really makes me wonder if the blip on the level of normalcy here was, once again, totally not shocking, that it was Trump because they thought, we'll get him on this. But the commonality of this is actually making that political hit job look even more lunacy in the light of, even Mike Pence, who is a darling of some of the people on the left in the wake of the January 6th stuff and everything. It just seems like, is this once again all about Donald Trump?
Yeah, always, because he's the only one out of the 3 people we've talked about who actually had an FBI raid, right? And not just a quiet raid, but with the choppers overhead and the lights blaring. And, it was 2 months before an election that Democrats were supposed to take a beating in. So, it always goes back to Trump, I suppose. And now I don't know how this moves forward except with Karine Jean-Pierre saying, I refer you to the White House counsel's office. I refer you to the White House counsel's office. This is a recording. I mean, how many times can she say the president takes these documents very seriously? I can't remember anybody being worse at their job. And I'm not trying to make a joke here, but talk about somebody who just can't think on their feet. It's extraordinary to see her just in other words, let me put it this way. I watched some clips of her when she was on MSNBC, and she was far left, came from MoveOn.org, but she can make an argument to a certain extent. And now she feels she has to stay within the binder, within the script with exactly what Ron Klain did or did not tell her. And I think that's her problem, that they won't let her go. Not that if they let her speak, that would be a good thing. Maybe then it becomes like a Biden kind of moment outside the prompter. But I mean, boy, these are so painful to watch. I don't even know why they hold them, quite frankly, because there's no news that ever emerges from these things outside of Peter Doocy and Karine Jean-Pierre clashed on X. It's like, okay, again, I get it.
Yeah. Fox News contributor, political columnist at The Hill, Joe Concha, with us right now. I mean, I completely understand and agree with you that she is absolutely terrible at her job. But on the same side of that coin, is she amazing at her job? Because if Fox News is going to come out and be like, wow, she's terrible at her job. Just look at this clip. And then you watch her be terrible at her job. If nobody else is going to hold her accountable, therefore the administration isn't going to be held accountable, maybe she's the best at her job.
Well, the past week or two, it's been an onslaught, right? Not just from Ducey and not just from Jackie Heinrich, but from several reporters. But is she good at her job?
It's tough.
I think that John Kirby, it's like baseball. You're a Cardinal fan, right?
Yes, I am.
Go to the bullpen here, okay? And bring in whoever, Quisenberry. No, he was the Royals. That's right. But bring in Kirby, because this is national security stuff anyway. So it's within his purview, right? Because he was from the Pentagon as a spokesperson there. But I said this on Fox probably about a week ago, and I stand by it. I can't see her lasting more than a couple of months. And if Biden announces he's running for president, then the easy out is, she'll just be my campaign spokesperson.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to get her out of there, because it's embarrassing to this White House to see her up there on a daily basis.
What do you make, Joe, about the resignation of the chief of staff, Klain? What are your thoughts?
Ron Klain, it tells me that Biden's running again, right? So Klain will probably be running the campaign. That's the only thing that makes sense. And chief of staffs normally last about this long, right? I mean, remember Reince Priebus?
Yeah.
I mean, he was actually Trump's chief of staff for about 8 Scaramucci's, right? And then I think he was out by like July after Trump took office in that January. So I think this is just a sign of not like, the president thinks Ron Klain's doing a bad job and forced him out. No, Ron Klain's going to go work for the campaign, and this is what tells you that Biden is running again. So congratulations, America.
Yeah.
You may get your Biden-Trump rematch, and whoever the winner is, either way, you will have an 80-something-year-old president.
Yeah,
Congrats.
and you will get what I guess you deserve if that's the outcome of those primaries. I want to play for you a clip here from one of our favorite senators, Senator John Kennedy. Listen to this.
He appears to be a bunny boy. He, like every other American, is entitled to due process. But if the allegations prove to be true, I would boot him. He's nutty as a fruitcake. I called him a bunny boy. I don't know if you've seen Fatal Attraction, but there are people like that out there.
So he's talking about George Santos in a way that, of course, only Senator Kennedy can. I see a lot of people on the left are just giddy over the idea of Republican Congressman George Santos, the fact that he lied and lied and lied to get elected into office. And apparently that's a new thing in Washington, D.C., the shiny new object for Democrats to attack the Republicans. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on Congressman George Santos.
At first, I mean, like the first day when you heard like, he said he worked for Goldman Sachs and he didn't. He said he graduated from NYU and he didn't. He said he was Jewish, but he's Jew-ish, right? I almost, my reflex was, well, then if he has to resign, then Elizabeth Warren has to resign, because what she did was just as egregious as far as lying on an application about her heritage in order to get a job, or Sidney Blumenthal, right? Senator of Connecticut, saying he fought in Vietnam when he didn't see battle at all. I mean, that's stolen valor kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, if he has to resign, then they have to resign. But then you go deeper and deeper into this with Santos, and this is unmatched. I mean, this is territory like we've never seen. I mean, Biden is a pathological liar also. I mean, that's very clear. And I could go through the list, but we only have finite time. But with Santos, I mean, he's not going to leave, I think, on his own volition, but I think party leadership has to tell him, like, look, you're killing us. Like, every day that we could be hitting Biden on X, Y, Z, and there's a lot to hit him on, it seems like the focus continues to be on you, because that's our media, right? They're going to go after the bad Republican, and he's the bad Republican at the moment. So I would think he should resign, because it's just about poor reflection on the entire party. The guy needs help, clearly, and he probably broke like 80 campaign finance laws. And he may even get like arrested in Brazil there's like 1,000 things going on here.
He's a mad lib of scandals. Like every day you see a new George Santos ones. It's just like there's a few blanks and then people just pick the words that they want to. It is unreal to look at the different kinds of scandals he's been involved in.
And the things he's lied about are just so unforced error kind of stuff. He could have won without saying any of this stuff, right? Saying that, my mother escaped the towers on 9/11, or, my grandparents escaped the Holocaust. Like, this is stuff that really pisses people off. Yeah. Like, these aren't like the white lies to pad my resume type of thing. You're right. I can't even name all the things that he's lied about. And he looks weird, too. I'm sorry. I'll just throw that out there.
Did you see John Lovitz dressed up as him? That made me laugh.
Lovitz could pull that off. Yeah, I could see that completely. Yeah. Remember Pat on Saturday Night Live?
Yes, I do.
Pat. Right, so he's just a weird dude to look at also. So what, answer me this, I should know this, but I guess if he were to resign, then they have a special election.
I don't know. I was going to ask, I was wondering, I didn't want to put you on the spot. I don't know the answer to that either, but it is a very important question. And I mean, the apprehension to force him into resignation makes me think that it would be a special election. Because if it would just be appointed by the governor or something, why would they not? I don't know. It's unbelievable to look at this guy and be like, how did you get to Congress? How did you make it there? It's
got to be a special election then. I think we answered our question. And there's a lot of people you could talk about with Congress. How'd you get to Congress? Eric Swalwell, hey, raise your hand. But can you believe them, by the way, Schiff and Swalwell? They're all pissed off that they got kicked off their intel committees after everything that they've done, dating Chinese spies, leaking to the press on an hourly basis, lying about Russia collusion for 3 years. It's just... I wonder if they have any self-awareness or this is just the way the game is played and it's all an act. I think really they believe their own BS.
Yeah. I think once you've been in the swamp for long enough, it starts to just make sense that you're just winning the game that you've been input for so long. You forgot what reality looks like. I'm just glad that the new reality with Kevin McCarthy is one without Adam Schiff on the Intel Committee. Joe?
He's doing a good job so far, right?
Yes.
McCarthy?
I think he's doing a fantastic job. Better than expected.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, the expectations are low. We won't be able to govern. I get it. It's early, but the guy has balls. And then I think that helps. Can I say that on your show? Is that all right?
I think you just did.
Okay.
We'll have you back. We'll have you back, Joe. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you again
Andy,
soon.
always a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. Political columnist at The Hill, Fox News contributor, gets paid by the word, by the minute. It's pretty fantastic. I love the energy and the illusion. It's very graphic. I get so much feedback after Joe is on the show with us.
I love having Joe on.
He's
great. One of my favorite guests.
Yeah. He says I think he gets so much out in such a small amount of time that there's very little self-censorship, which I appreciate.
In that conversation, I was just going over the topics in my head. We talkk about Santos, we talked about Schiff, we talked about McCarthy, we talked about the Biden documents. We went from
laundry
to Santos to Schiff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Covered a lot of ground.
And it was all good stuff.
What do you think that it's good that Wiggins America Take Two follows that, or?
I mean,
can't be better / worse than Wiggins America
there's nowhere to go but up from there.
I told you before that you need to download the Odyssey app if you haven't done this yet and rewind to 1245 and listen to Wiggins America. It went so sideways that we're going to let him try again when we come back. And I can only imagine. Let me look here and see. Oh, I'm going to tell you what, in my Google Drive, you know what I have? I have a clip called Home Depot, WA, Wiggins America.
Oh, he might have learned his lesson.
He might have made some improvements, and he's going to talk to us about dating when we come back. Although I already said that to you once, and it certainly didn't happen. It ended up with Khalees and Milkshake. I can't even really draw a map other than that. Wiggins America Take Two when we come back. Don't go away.
What you know, Joe? I don't dig
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Hey, stop
Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Saving money is important. Every opportunity you get, it certainly is a focus of mine. And when you are purchasing a home, you don't want to pay more for your mortgage than you have to. Of course you don't. Stewart's American Mortgage. Stewie, bagel loan, all things that you can know to Google and make sure that you get the absolute best deal on that home purchase. The bagel loan is set up so that if you are purchasing a home, $200,000 or bigger for a loan, you go through the process with Stewie just like you'd go through it with anyone else. But the key is here. No closing costs. Think about that. If you've been through a home purchase before, you know how you negotiate the difference on the offer and you try to get something accepted and then you go back and forth and you're really working hard to save as much money as you can, but to get the home that you love so you can still be a competitive buyer. Nothing's going to make you more competitive than a bagel loan with Stewart's American Mortgage because you're going to save thousands of dollars on having no closing costs. You can put that into your offer. You can maybe make the repair that you were negotiating for with those monies that you are saving on the closing cost. And you don't have to put it into the loan. And he can close in 15 days. Stewart's American Mortgage, 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan and MLS number 226715.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars. Lose the weight and stop smoking. Only $49.99. Seminars Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express Suite St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. And Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Big ideas, real debate, solid entertainment. You found it here.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
What could possibly go wrong?
Take two.
Nothing could go worse than that anyway. I mean, things could still go wrong.
Ryan, don't say things couldn't go worse.
I like your confidence.
Look, you got to set it's just like I always talk about with Valentine's Day. You got to set the bar low.
What are you telling me that I don't know? I'm constantly pushing you to raise the bar.
Yeah.
But see, we're not married to each other.
We're not.
There's no oath.
There's no covenant.
No, there isn't.
It's already screwed up. What are we doing?
How did we get to here?
Why
are we
do
doing
that?
Wiggins America at 1:45? It's supposed to be at 12:45.
We're doing Wiggins America at 1:45 because at 12:45, things went a bit sideways.
Mm-hmm.
I put in the wrong audio for.
Did you take it out of my
clip.
folder?
Yes, I did.
No.
I was removing that from existence.
No, you're not. It's on the podcast.
Yeah, it's there forever.
I'm
Ryan.
going to need that.
I might
clip.
clip
also
that
on
separately.
YouTube.
I'm going to need that clip, Brad.
Yeah, I took it away because I knew that it would come back up, and I said, nope, that's going away forever.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's actually now part of Annie Frey Show lore.
Indeed it is. It's like Game of Thrones around here. People keeping track. So
what?
That's my favorite
It's part of
commercial on
canon.
Fox News.
It's part of the canon of Annie Frey show lore.
One N.
Yeah.
Well,
1N.
2, not 3.
We are in Wiggins America Take 2 here.
Are you reminding yourself?
I am.
We're just waiting for you to.
Well, you can go ahead and
bring it home.
we can try this audio again. Let's see if I did the right
So I'm
one.
going to click the sound that you put in my folder,
Okay.
which is exactly what happened at 12:45.
Yep.
Cross your fingers,
But
folks.
you accidentally at 12:45 put in the wrong sound.
Yeah, it was something that was a little more personal to me.
And we just aired it.
And
all of St. Louis to hear.
And I didn't know that was going to happen.
Which is why, folks,
There was some genuine embarrassment and still is.
Odyssey app, follow 97.1 FM Talk, rewind to 12:45, breathe it in. Let's see about this.
No joke. Home Depot is where you go if you want to meet a man. I found at least 3 husbands. I mean, they had wives, but like, don't let that stop you.
What?
So this is a trend now that people, especially single women, are going to
Or
Home
homewreckers.
Depot. I mean, I think that was kind of a joke. I hope it was. I don't really know. But these are common clips now on TikTok, and this has been going on and ramping up for the last couple of years, that people are deleting their dating apps in 2023. It's a trend. And some say they're looking for love in a surprise location.
In all the wrong places.
Wookin' Penub. I'm headed. That was the Eddie Murphy version.
Okay.
I'm headed to Home Depot to look confused in the lumber aisle, says one TikToker.
Oh, wow.
Hey, that's not unlike my favorite way to get a bottle of wine open, which is to walk into a room. If you can't get the wine open, you walk into a room of men and go, this bottle of wine is impossible to open. And then they just are like, go, give it to me, I'll open it. And they open the wine and then you get the wine.
Oh, that's
Although,
a bottle of anything.
At the end of that, I'm really just looking for wine, not somebody else's husband.
I mean, jar of pickles. It could be anything.
Sure,
you can do
anything you
that with.
need.
But yeah, this is a trend apparently that people are going into, and some of them are filming it, but I think some people are actually just doing this, going into Home Depot, standing around apparently in the lumber aisle, looking confused and just waiting to talk to guys. And
what is the question? Like, how do you feign necessity for lumber?
I don't. It's one of the reasons I'm bringing it to you, because I don't know how a woman does this, but if I walked up to a lumber aisle and I saw a girl standing there looking confused, I would probably say, do you need any help?
You'd fall for the bait?
I would take the bait, not knowing that they were looking for dates. And I would feel a little bit bad, partially because I don't know anything about lumber.
How often? And you're like, but I'm a man and you're a woman, so obviously you're dumber than me.
Yep. But I would. In
Let me
fact,
tell
I
you
probably
some-
have done
Let me
this.
tell you some man things. This here is what we call wood.
This is a
And
board.
across there, that's, well.
Yeah, let me
You see, it's
let me tell
made
you
out of
about
wood.
ma'am.
Mhm.
So
every time.
So my question is this a good thing? I mean, people are getting off dating apps. Generally, I would say that.
Are we taking out the finding other people's husbands part of this?
Yes, take that out. I mean, I think that was kind of a
the
joke.
immoral nature of that part.
Yes. Is this a worthwhile endeavor? Is this something that you think women either could pull off or should pull off?
I think women could easily pull
Totally
it off.
I'm sorry, men, but this is an easy one.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it.
This is simple. This is brilliant.
Like, that's a dream scenario if you're a guy walking. It's like, there's a beautiful girl and she needs my help.
My favorite part of this story is that the single men listening right now have all redirected their afternoon to Home Depot. And there are going to be women standing in the aisle who are genuinely interested in which piece of lumber is the best to purchase. And they're going to be a line of men be like, oh, can I help you? Yep. The Home Depot workers are going to be like, what is happening here? Get out of my way. You see this orange apron? This means something. I earned this.
That is so true. I mean, I get it. I get the idea of it.
Joe says, and this I like this comment. Joe says on YouTube, dating is kind of a game anyways. Fair game. Of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a time where you'd go to bars to hang out, to have fun, and I would get hit on by men. The pickup line the one that I completely fell for and didn't know I was walking right into it. A guy asked if we could dance. We go to Wild Country all the time back in the day. If you were, what is it? If you can't find it, you're too stupid to be here. So it's like, an entry level of intelligence in order to get into Wild Country. The dumb ones couldn't find it because Wild Country was tucked so far back away, people couldn't figure out how to get to it. But this guy asked me to dance, and I was dancing with him, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, I can't get over how much you look like my first wife." And I go, "Oh, really? How many wives have you had?" He goes, "Well, none yet."
Oh,
and I'm like, I hate you.
Wait a minute. I've heard
Was that you?
No. No.
He said, wait.
I was waiting in the corner to open a wine bottle for you.
Man,
I've heard you tell that story before. I've never heard the part that you were dancing with him.
I've danced with men.
So, okay. So this takes it to a different level. I just didn't know.
How?
I thought she was sitting there and he just approached you and you were like, "Oh gosh," but you were already dancing with him. I like where this is headed.
Yeah, I think it was a barn dance.
What does that mean?
Everybody dances with everybody.
Oh.
Women on the outside, men on the inside. You go and you just dance with probably 20 people.
I've never danced at any sort of country bar, so I have no idea what
you
that
are
means.
so missing
What
out.
an experience. I actually, I kind of like the idea of people like this Home Depot thing.
Let's
better
send
than
Hannah to Home Depot.
Let's
Oh my
not.
gosh, do it in a video.
And then, Hannah can help.
Oh, Hannah can help. Yeah, you should turn the tables and be like, "Can I help you with anything?" To
Can
every
I help
guy who
you
walks
with
up to you.
your moral compass and your political leanings?
Yes. Yes. Start with lumber. Start with what kind of screws do you need here? Yeah, maybe not that.
Let's not use the word screw in this scenario.
Let's not use
ever.
that. Let's not use nails.
Start in the plumbing aisle. Can I help you with your
pipes? Aren't good either.
you might learn something about somebody.
Is there any aisle that you'd be safe in?
A lot of innuendos in there, man.
Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for an aisle free from innuendo.
May I show you the paint aisle?
What I was gonna say is that it's better than the online dating apps because people aren't actually interacting with one another. They're just doing everything through their phone. So this is real life interaction face to face, which I think is lacking. So
you would be able to tell immediate chemistry.
Yes.
And if they say, "Can I help you?" You could be like, "No."
Which is what would happen. I'm for the Home Depot thing.
I am too. I like it.
I can't imagine being against it.
I think if a woman is going in there, Hannah, and they know what they're doing, huge upper hand.
Absolutely.
Which is the way.
That's good.
Is there anywhere else that could be this could be applied to though, other than a Home Depot?
Anywhere that is more of a male-dominated industry where a woman would be perceived just by virtue of her gender to be less intelligent,
like
about
out
the
of
issue.
place.
Yeah, and what would be fine is, hey, I don't really know about what I'm in here for.
So this wouldn't
But
work
B,
in a grocery store.
But B, the fact that I know that I don't know anything about this and can use it to my own personal advantage is what dating has always been about.
I've learned so much in this segment.
Yeah.
I've learned so much in 2 segments in a row.
It only took you 48 years to learn.
48. Man, you guys are so mean. I am not that old, and I'm not that short.
I was just about to come in with the 5'6" line.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ryan's gonna need the steps to help him get the lumber down
With your
from the
shoes
top
on,
shelves.
you totally are 5'6".
That is not true.
Yeah,
I love radio.
It's like 5'5" and a
If
half.
you stand up tall, your spine, I know when you get like closer to 50s and 60s, just kind of shrinks a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm starting to
put your
hunch over
shoulders
like
back,
Hans
Ryan.
Mole Man.
There's nothing wrong with being 5'5". You can stretch it to 5'6".
This is like the "Do you beat your wife?" question.
What?
I can't
don't have a
answer
wife.
this.
There's a guilty
I
conscience.
told you I wouldn't ask you that question on the air. We'll be right back.
I'm Howard Mackler of GetRefunds.com. You might have heard me talk about the payroll tax refund for businesses who kept employees on payroll during COVID. But today, I'm not going to do the talking. I'm letting a real Get Refunds client tell you everything.
I'm Jason Hall, owner of Washington Crab in North Carolina. We are a seafood company with a couple restaurants and a big catering operation. COVID stopped us dead in our tracks, literally having to lock our doors to follow government shutdown orders. I learned about the payroll tax refund through research at COVID relief programs. I initially asked my CPA if I was eligible for the program, and she told me no. I heard about GetRefunds.com while listening to the radio. I reached out to them, and they immediately started helping me file a claim. They quickly got me approved for a payroll tax refund, and with that capital, I kept my staff employed, and I'm weathering this recession and high inflation. If you have a business, you should go to GetRefunds.com and start your claim now.
GetRefunds.com helped their business, and we can help yours too. Go to GetRefunds.com, powered by Innovation Refunds.
if you are looking for a solution to space issues in your home, the Closet Factory is there to provide you customized organization. But I think that people underestimate how having customized organization, maybe in your closet. For my husband and I, when we bought our house, we had like the standard issue wire closet stuff. It was functional, but it wasn't awesome. When we had the Closet Factory come in and rework our entire space in this closet that we share and use all the vertical space for storage, we actually, especially after our most recent purge in our house, we have more space in our closet than we are actively using right now, which is allowing us to take things from other rooms, put it in the master closet, and that frees up space. There is a domino effect through the entire home. For customized solutions to your organizational needs, the Closet Factory is there for you. They were there for us. 314-961-4300, closetfactory.com.
Congress has authorized trillions in new spending, along with doubling the size of the IRS agency in just the last few months. Do you think that is by accident? No, it is with a purpose, to go after small businesses, employees, and individuals who have not filed or paid their taxes. If this is you, don't panic, just call. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Interest and penalties on your tax bill won't stop until you take control. Call me, Lance Drury. I'll tell you in advance an affordable fee, which includes costs and expenses that works for your business and family. Your first visit to the Lance Drury Law Firm is free and confidential, so you have nothing to lose. Call me today. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an attorney. You need us, the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
As long as it takes. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The White House reaffirming that position on support for Ukraine while acknowledging the war launched by Russia may not end anytime soon.
We'd like to see this war end today, and it absolutely could. All Putin has to do is pull his troops out of Ukraine, call it a day, and it's over. But he has shown no signs of being willing to do that.
So, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says the goal is to make sure Ukraine can succeed on the battlefield and eventually at the negotiating table, an effort that now includes tanks.
The United States will be sending 31 Abrams tanks as Ukraine continues its fight against Russia.
The Abrams tanks are the most capable tanks in the world.
President Joe Biden saying the parts and equipment necessary to sustain the tanks are also being sent, and the U.S. will begin training Ukrainian troops on sustainment, logistics, and maintenance as soon as possible.
Fox's Ryan Schmel is at the White House. Germany also sending and allowing other countries to send its Leopard 2 tanks. A former FBI counterintelligence official accused of violating U.S. sanctions and money laundering over ties to a Russian oligarch pleads not guilty. Charles McGonigal appearing in court by video today. He's been released under conditions set by the government, including turning over his passport, due back in court next month. A foreign national admits mailing ricin to the White House.
Pascal Cecile Veronique Ferrier pleads guilty to mailing threatening letters with homemade ricin to the White House during President Trump's term and to 8 Texas state law enforcement officials. The 55-year-old dual citizen of Canada and France admitting to making and sending the deadly poison in 2020 from her Quebec home, threatening the then president on Twitter, saying in a letter he should give up on re-election and blaming Texas officials for a 2019 detention.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. America is listening to Fox News.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Windy and cold on this Wednesday afternoon. Snow flurries flying around from time to time. A 35 for the high, but feels colder. Down to 28 tonight. Lots of clouds, flurries in the early evening. Windy all night long. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. Gusty winds and a cold 32. But after a cold start on Friday, warm it up to 45 Friday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Better sleep can change your life. That's because sleep is a core pillar of health, just like nutrition and exercise. So if you're not getting enough of it, ZQL invites you to take our Better Sleep to Better Health Challenge. Get weekly sleep tips and explore how ZQL, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, can help you. ZQL's Better Sleep to Better Health Challenge. Visit ZQL.com.
Find ZQL at Walmart or Walmart.com and start your journey to better sleep today.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Seminars, Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. And Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton, St. Louis, Fairview Heights, and Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminar.com.
Jackson Hewitt gets you your biggest tax refund guaranteed. Plus, get a chance to double your refund or win other weekly prizes with our Double Your Refund sweepstakes. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return ends 4/2/23.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Fact-checking the mainstream media daily.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You found it here. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married, sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're glad that you were here with us today. A reminder to download the Odyssey app and take us with you anywhere you go. Follow 97.1 FM Talk there, and you can rewind. You can check out the podcast on that app. I'm excited. I haven't said this I haven't said this much. I don't think I've talked about this at all, but I had the Pixie Dust podcast. I'm bringing it back to life.
Cool.
We kind of stopped doing it because as far as like Disney planning and everything goes, my co-host, Erica, who is the best at Disney planning, she took a different job right before COVID happened. And then when COVID happened and everything shut down, what do you talk about?
Yeah.
But one of the things that I'm going to be doing in addition to the planning part of it is reviewing content that Disney is putting out as a Christian and a conservative as to how I address that content in my house, whether I would let my kids watch it, whether I would let some of my kids watch it, why it is that some of my kids would be able to watch it and some wouldn't. And then also comparing the content that is being put out and watching the trends. We've seen the behind the scenes Zoom meetings where they were talking about, I can't remember what her position was, but do you remember, Ryan, the one woman who was like, I used to think that I kind of had to like sneak this stuff in and try to do it clandestinely. She's like, I can do anything now. Like this type of, the easy way to refer to it is like a woke agenda type of a thing. But they try to put content in films and she's like, nobody's telling me no anywhere. Like I have no restraints on me whatsoever.
Yep.
Very interesting story. You guys know I'm a Disney stockholder now.
Yeah, you're an owner.
One share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is a very interesting story behind an activist investor who is in a really, really big way pressuring Disney to knock it off.
So this is a big investor. This isn't a one shareholder.
Disney, I'll read from the LA Times, if it lets me. Is it gonna let me? Yeah. Disney blasts activist shareholder campaign. Marvel chair played a role in board fight. The Walt Disney Company has come out swinging against activist shareholder Nelson Peltz's campaign to join the company's board of directors, saying the billionaire lacks a basic understanding of Disney's business and has offered no strategic ideas. Disney, in a shareholder presentation published Tuesday, this was like mid-January. This article was written January 17th, so it's pretty fresh. Blasted Peltz and defended the leadership of Chief Executive Bob Iger, the new CEO, and his landmark acquisitions, including 21st Century Fox, arguing such deals transform the company. At the same time, Disney revealed that Peltz's entreaties to the company have the backing of a high-profile and sharp-elbowed personality within the firm, Marvel Entertainment Chairman Isaac Perlmutter. So Peltz is I think he owns 9 or 10%. Big investor. I mean, especially considering the magnitude. And he's like, knock it off. Get back to the business of what you're doing. Stop with all of the political indoctrination. And he did this with GE also, like successfully, was able to get into General Electric as an activist investor and make a difference happen.
Interesting that GE was even having these issues.
This is a while ago. I think with Jeffrey Immelt and so on. Peltz 80 has been meeting with Disney executives and board members for months in order to gain a seat on the Burbank Entertainment Giants board of directors. He's now trying to get himself elected by Disney shareholders who will vote at a company's upcoming annual meeting, with no date has been announced at the writing of this. Peltz, who runs the New York investment firm Tryon Partners, has amassed 9.4 million shares of Disney stock worth about $900 million.
Well, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
A little more. He owns more shares than you do.
But I own a share.
So you're going to poll for Peltz?
Peltz?
Peltz.
Yeah, I think so.
So you can vote.
As I understand it.
That's the way I understand it too.
I definitely could be wrong. I am not an expert, but I have started the process of learning. This is really important to me because this is bottom line stuff. This is somebody coming in and set Disney aside. How many other entities out there have been very seduced by the agenda-driven, culture-focused activism? And I can't stress this enough. It's always been about the bottom line. You know how they say sex sells? Social justice sells until it doesn't anymore. And people who have lots of money invested in these big companies say, knock it off. So I'm going to start at one share and then take over Disney later.
This is how it begins.
Yeah. We've got it on record when she bought her first share.
Yeah.
And now look at her. She's a multi-billionaire.
I can't wait for the documentary to come out so we can recount the story.
I'm putting it on the record right now. I would love to be the CEO of Disney.
Just like it all started with an E-Trade app.
I have a communications degree.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
How would I buy one share? Do you think this is an interesting conversation? Because I feel like, and this is just a feeling, and why I'm asking you, that the tides are turning on some of this stuff.
Yes.
You do too.
That's the point.
Good. Because
it's still all about money.
Yes, it is.
It's only ever been about money.
But it's like there's been a lag between whether you want to call it the Donald Trump effect or just the backbone of conservative America, if you want to even call it that, starting to rise up. And now we're seeing 6 years later.
It's free market America.
Yes.
And this is what I don't feel like I'm conveying this as clearly as I should to you. And in the words of Corinne Jean-Pierre, I think we've been clear on this. That's all she says. Right before she says, I refer you to somebody else who knows something about this. It was never about social justice. It was never about liberalism. It was never about the things that they were using in their advertisements to get you to buy something. It was never about that. Conservatism isn't back in style, so they want to sell conservatism. It's not about that. It's always been about the money. And when you can sell virtue to people and make people feel like, think about this for a second. If you look at society and realize that everything in our culture right now is telling you to glorify you, every single thing out there is centered on you thinking about, number one, you. Which means that they can sell you all sorts of things that take your flaws. And boy, folks, I have so many flaws. Slim 180 helped me lose 30 pounds in a month last spring, and I've kept off probably 22 of them for almost a year now. And I'm super proud of that. And I talked a little bit about, I went to my first time back in the ring yesterday. And I said this on the air. It's the stupidest thing that I said out loud, but I actually said it out loud because I think you could probably hear this and relate to it. But I also want to say it out loud so I can hold myself accountable. The reason that I didn't get back in the ring is because I'm out of shape. I have lost weight and I've maintained a weight that I'm sort of happy with, but I want to be strong and I want to be fit and I want to be athletic, and I have to do more than just nutrition in order to get there. But that means that I have to acknowledge to myself that I have something about me that needs to be improved. And I don't need you to tell me that. I don't need culture to tell me that. I'm working full time. My husband works full time and I'm taking care of 4 kids. And I can tell at the end of the day that if I were in better shape, my life would be better. It doesn't have to benefit. It's not even about what's in the mirror or how my clothes fit. It's just about at my age of 38, I need to value this more and care less what other people think and care more about how that self-improvement would be good for me as a human being, as a mom, as a wife, all of it. But there's a whole industry out there who is actively trying to sell me things saying, if you feel you're a little chubby, that's good. You need to stay that way. You need to embrace that and share it with the world. But it never even takes into account how I feel about me.
Right.
And it's taking advantage of people who have very strong, overpowering emotions about how confident I feel about me and my health, my way I look, the way my pants fit, the way my dresses fit. They know that at your core, that is one of the most sensitive issues for most women out there. They know that. And if it's your most sensitive issue and they can figure out a way to sell you something that makes you feel better, even for the moment, the length of time it takes you to make a click and put in your credit card information, then they get what they want out of that deal. You buy the clothes that celebrates the size you are, not the size that if you sat down and face the music you maybe wanted to be so you could be healthy, so your knees wouldn't hurt, so you'd have more energy, all of that. They want to sell you on that sensitivity that you naturally have because you are in your mind thinking, I could be better. And the idea that you could be better is counterculture right now. And what Washington, D.C. has done in the process to subsidize all of these different movements that want to shame the other people. They want to create a constant class of them. And they want you to know that you are special and the capital T, they. Like anytime someone says they want you to blah, 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 which I've said before, I think it's always important to go back to that sentence, take the they out and identify who these people are. It's always people seeking money and power. And the advertising marketing campaigns are trying to sell you something on an emotional sensitivity you have in that moment. They're striking the most sensitive nerves so that they can get money out of you. And the people in Washington, D.C., the people in your state capital, the people maybe in your local level of politics are trying to squeeze power out of you. And it's not based on what's actually good for you, because what they want you to do is they want you to not think, they want you to only feel. And when you look at what Disney has done, is they have seen that this has worked in other places and they've done it themselves. That's why it's been allowed. I think that they're absolutely activist people in the positions to insert this stuff into content. But the people at the end of the day who have to give their financial reports, who have to answer to shareholders, who need to secure their jobs with economic success, have permitted it because they think it's a good business plan. And it's not. That has run its course. But I think it's cheap to say conservatism is making its way back in. I think that America is center right. I think that conservative values, not really on the political scale, but just on the idea of conserving power and authority within yourself and not wanting other people to show up and provide you everything and tell you how you feel all the time, is very American. And in that way, Ryan, I think that you're spot on. Do not underestimate how much people out there who have the ability to take power and money from you are willing to use your weaknesses against you for their own gains. And I think Disney has realized that in a really big way. They're one of the big fish, which is why I highlight them here and will continue to call them out. But seeing an activist like this, an activist investor, he might get in there and he might make some really dumb decisions too. I'm like a personal fan of his. I just want to see flip the table.
Yeah. No, and that's kind of what I'm glad to hear you confirming, because I said, that's the way I feel. I don't know whether this is happening too, but hearing you say that, it's these investors have always been there. I don't think there's Nelson Peltz or whoever he is. His politics probably have been there for a long time. But he and even the Elon Musks of the world, these guys have been for profit first for a long time. And now, whatever it is, it's switched to where they are now saying, I'm still for profit. I haven't changed that.
I think it's
at
still
all.
first for them.
However, I see that the tide is changing, and I want to make sure that I am going to put best foot forward and say, you've got to be ahead of this. This woke stuff's going to kill your company's bottom line. So I'm going to get ahead of it.
Well, I think that what they've noticed is they looked at the bottom line and said, whoa, my investments aren't making money. Because when you're talking about a company like Disney, Disney is a family company. First and foremost, that's where they make their money, selling families. And families are going to look at what's being pushed to their kids. And listen, I work with kids and I work with parents. Don't get in between parents and their kids. It's a losing strategy. It's the surest way to see that you get destroyed. And Disney was doing that. And so parents are like, you know what? I'm not going to buy that new movie. I'm not going to go do this. I'm not going to do the mini cake. I'm not going to go to Disney. I'm not going to do that. All of a sudden, the Disney stock starts falling. And investors who are in it for the money first, look at this and go, oh, my investments aren't making money. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to lose money. What's going on here? Then they look at it. They see that this lines up with these woke politics. That's my problem. And my company needs to make money. My investment needs to have good returns. They need to stop doing that because they're hurting me now.
In the beginning of my campaign to become the CEO of Disney.
Yeah, bring it on.
Since I have become a shareholder, I have made $8.
Well, Disney should not be at $100.
No, that's why I bought it.
And you saw that.
Yeah.
You said I'm jumping in right now.
I've been watching this since the pandemic, and I had no idea how to functionally like I said, I took $150, I slapped it on an E-Trade app, and I am willing to make $150 mistake, essentially, is to learn. And I mean, the stock was all the way down to $85 a share. It should be north of $160 a share. It was at half of what it should be valued, but that's because they weren't valuing the right things at the company, which is what is great about this. And if you get your act together, and I think even if this activist investor doesn't get on the board and doesn't get his way, he is still making an impact.
Absolutely.
And he still has massive influence. And it still is a national story. Like you can Google Nelson Peltz's name, or do an internet search or whatever, and you can see that everybody is covering this story. This cuts through.
Mm-hmm.
And if it cuts through for Disney, go look at what companies were doing after Disney stuck their heads so far up their rears in react to the Parental Rights and Education Act. Everybody who had an opportunity to weigh in anything was like, ooh, I'm out. Like, we're just going to sit this one out. Yes, that's business. Entertain us. You are not there to indoctrinate us. And if you try to indoctrinate us, we're done. And I think it's important to call it out. I think it's important to talk about it. I know how y'all feel about it. Not all of you. Many of you message me and appreciate these comments. So it's a double-edged sword. So every time I speak about it, I'm going to get both comments about why you hate me because of this or why you love me because of this. This is news. This is important. And if you don't think that swaying Disney and their guidance on what kind of content they put out won't have a measurable effect on culture, you're not paying enough attention. And you can stick your head in the sand and pretend it's not there and choose to step out. They're too big for that to make a difference. One person at a time.
You're right. It's happening. CNN's another one that we didn't mention. That's happening there too.
Yeah.
And you are like, you jumped in at the right time. You're like a wolf of Wall Street.
I am. A wolfress.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful lady wolf.
Yeah. It's got a big mane.
Big mane what? Go on.
What I was going to say was this time next year, you're a judge on Shark Tank for sure.
I just want to be the CEO of Disney. Bob Iger's only in there for 2 years. Hey guys, look at here.
But this time next year, you're a judge on Shark Tank. This time 2 years from now, you're the CEO of Disney.
Should we talk about our plans? Not yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think we got to hold off.
All right. Well, there's more to come. Stick around, more Annie Frey Show right after this. I got some fun stories to talk to the crew about here. If you haven't yet joined us on the YouTube Live, you go to Annie Frey YouTube channel, and you will see that we're live right there. And you can go vote in today's YouTube Live chat poll. Is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or liability? Go vote. Give us a comment. Why? Hannah's waiting to read some of them. Maybe we can get an update for that real quick before we get into the rest of the hour in just a minute. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Won't somebody come take me home? It's that damn cold night. Trying to figure out.
The Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Take me by the hand and take me somewhere new. I don't know who you are.
What's it like to go to the South Pole? How do some animals change color? Can you catch a liar?
That's dangerous territory.
Can you trust a gut feeling? What about yawns?
Yes, yawning is contagious.
Mike Simpson here, and on my podcast, I've Got Questions. We go through all these things we're curious about and some stuff you probably don't expect.
Yo, strawberries are not even fruits at all.
So what are they? I've Got Questions. New episodes Thursdays on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
One of the reasons Andrea's Steakhouse is so famous is because of Andrea's steak sauce. And they have bottled that so that you can take it home and have that taste at home, whether or not you're able to make it at the restaurant or not. And it is sold all over the world now at Andreas.com. People order it and have it sent. I've said before, it's sent to the White House every year. It's sent to different dignitaries in different countries. It's like a delicacy. It's made right here in St. Louis. And you can get a bottle at Schnucks. How about that? You should, because we just did it this weekend, and meat is through the roof right now. You know that. It's hard to get good meat for a good price, but you can get, we just did like the beef, the beef tips, you know, the kind of the cheap stuff, threw it in a wok and sauteed it with some vegetables and just Andrea sauce. That was all the ingredients right there, was zucchini and beef tips and Andrea sauce. And man, what a meal. Everything tasted like fantastic steak, even though it was really kind of low-grade meat. So great way to do that. Great way to feed your whole family on a budget is just get a bottle of Andrea's next time you're at Schnucks or Dierberg's or wherever you shop. and then you can get whatever you want. It's going to taste a lot better, and it's going to be a lot more tender too, because it does all the work for you. So get a bottle at your local grocery store or at Andreas.com.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, January 25th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday, 314-530-7777.
If you own a home in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes, stlouis.com at 314-782-8000 and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant homes, inherited homes, fixer-uppers, beautiful homes, even the tenant who won't pay the rent apartment. Google us, Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out our best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to our website, chrisbuyshomes.stlouis.com, or call Chris at 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000, and get the offer you've been waiting for. 314-782-8000.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Governor Mike Parson.
The media, Mark, it is literally just an agenda. Thank goodness you guys are out there that sure are trying to give honest information.
97.1 FM Talk.
Ramblers in the wilderness, we can't find what we need. We get a little restless from search and get a little worn down in between. Like a bull chasing the matadors, a man left with his own schemes. Everybody
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Today's YouTube live chat poll: is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or liability? We might get some reaction from Hannah here before we exit this segment. We always give the results in the 2:45, but Hannah can come in here and tell us what some folks are saying about this poll so far. Did you guys hear about the job cuts that Google had?
Well, yeah, them among others. I mean, it's been like tech cuts across the board.
I've heard of them through the TikTok videos and then the follow-ups. Have you seen these?
No.
So it was like those day in the life of a Google worker videos?
Well, no, I don't look at TikTok.
No. Well, I'm having them shared on Twitter.
On Twitter and stuff, which is
Yeah.
where a lot of people do. That's like I would take Snapchat filters and upload them to my Facebook page, just like an old person. CNBC reports that Google job cuts hit 1,800 employees in California, including 27 massage therapists.
At Google?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what you're talking about, Brad, is these people doing the day in the life stuff.
Google layoffs included more than 1,800 employees in California. More than 100 were cut from the company's YouTube campus in San Bruno, south of San Francisco. And the company let go of more than 24 on-site massage therapists. Most of the headcount reduction in the state occurred in and around the company's Silicon Valley headquarters. The filings read, employee separations at the facilities resulting from this action are expected to commence March 31st. A Google spokesperson told CNBC that the March date is due to a notification period required in California that forces employers to give impacted employees as well as state and local representatives at least 60 days written advance notice of any plant closing or mass layoff. More than a quarter of the Bay Area roles affected had director or senior in the titles. The cuts also included these 27 in-house massage therapists. Wow. Was that all of them, or who survived?
Yeah, it's only a tenth.
27.
Yeah, just a few of the massage therapists lost their jobs, just the bad ones.
It's at a company-wide meeting on Monday. The CEO addressed layoffs while taking questions from employees who expressed concerns about their future and tense shoulders. I added that last part. I mean, if you're a wildly successful business and you want to employ a massage therapist, America.
Heck yeah, go for it.
But when you think about how I don't know, the way that we have seen Google or Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, drive so much conversation about like how the American life is to be lived and the expectation or the understanding of what that reality is. These people are not living in reality.
No, they're not. And they're feeding their own stereotypes because everybody knows that these people, if you're at work and you're getting massaged that often that you need 27 or who knows how many massage therapists, it's like the stereotype of the World Economic Forum people saying like, well, I can't believe people are criticizing our caviar choices and stuff, like these stereotypes exist. And then you find out that they're real. Like that's actually happening.
What do you see on TikTok or on Twitter?
So what these people will do is they'll do their day in the life videos, and you've all seen these, and they're like, I showed up for work at 8:30 and I start my day off with a cup of coffee. I can't stand it. But you guys know the voice, right? And they're basically their work day consists of I show up, I get some free food from work, then I go take a nap, then I go to a meeting, then I go take a nap.
Just explaining what Ryan Wiggins does every day.
Then it's lunchtime and they get these big fancy
but I had to
free
bring my own
lunches.
cot. They had the Google cots.
The Google cots. No, it's like a sleep pod.
Yeah.
And so then they'll go like get lunch, and it's this fancy lunch, and it's free as well.
Ryan's gonna go into the sales department and be like, I need a massage.
Look, I ain't asked for 27, but if you can give me just one.
Oh, brother.
Personal masseuse.
Where's Rob Kramer when you need him?
Yeah, I was gonna say Rob would be like, I got you.
Yeah,
he would have done it.
Dear Odyssey.
No shame.
I know you don't know me, but
so then they do all this.
They might.
And then like the next video, like part 2 of so they go home, they don't really do anything at work, at least on these videos. It doesn't look like they do anything at work. They go home, and then like their next video is like, so I woke up this morning to a phone call from my boss, and I was locked out of all my Google emails, and I was laid off.
Yeah, that's how it works when you get laid off. It's not personal.
No, but isn't it surprising that all these companies must have had a huge peak during COVID when everybody was using it, and now have dropped off the map because they're all doing the same thing at the same time. It's got to be pretty brutal in Silicon Valley right now.
All right, we want to get to some YouTube comments.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, it is asking, is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or liability? Patrick Fleer from YouTube says, currently he's an asset, but still skeptical he stays on course to hold Democrats accountable.
You can go to YouTube, the Annie-Frey YouTube channel, and in the live broadcast of today's show, which we are doing right now, you can check on the live chat and you can vote and comment there as well.
Grant from YouTube says that McCarthy is currently performing much better than I expected. Craig says, I'm with Brad. I never thought he was going to be bad, but I didn't expect him to be as good as he is. Janine from YouTube said, I wasn't confident, but I voted asset. After hearing that, I'm happier with my vote. So she commented that after Brad gave his thoughts on the vote. Scott Vetter from YouTube says, McCarthy is an asset if he sticks to his word and starts exposing how corrupt the Democrats are. Let Jim Jordan lose so he can start these committees. Lori Felt says, I believe McCarthy will do a good job. It'll make sure that the investigations happen and we get the answers we need. Doug says, McCarthy's an asset to the GOP, but not for conservatives. Those two groups are not the same. That's an interesting comment. Rick Richards from YouTube said, tough call. McCarthy is not stopping the billions of dollars that are being sent to Zelensky, and that is not a good thing.
If you want to vote in today's poll, like I said, you can go to the Annie-Frey YouTube channel and see the live chat that's right there. We'll give you the results on the other side of this break right here. Did you guys hear about LA County's new homeless czar?
No.
Okay. Think about right now, somebody who has been told, nominated, or approved to be the homeless czar for LA County. What kind of compensation should that person get?
Oh, gosh.
Homeless czar. I'm going to tell you when we come back what it pays to be in charge of the homeless in LA. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Take the world alone. I know that in my weakness I am strong, but it's your love that brings me home.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
When you know, rather let me be your fortress. When the night with the darling on, be the one I like to wait. Bring it home.
Download Upside and start getting cash back wherever you roll. It's like having your own hype man. Get an average of 17% cash back at restaurants.
Oh, it's dinner time.
Average of 13% on groceries.
Get those groceries.
10 cents per gallon average cash back on gas.
It's go time.
Plus, cash back at participating convenience stores too.
Stacks on stacks.
Users can earn hundreds of dollars a year, 3 times more than other apps.
Upside, show me that money.
All right, we get it. Sign up for the free Upside app and start getting cash back for doing you. Download the free Upside app and use promo code DOYOU for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code DOYOU for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Get cash back for doing you with the free app from Upside.
Retirement Advisory Group, Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, his wife Tammy. I got to see them last night at the Retirement Advisory Group's Protecting Your Retirement educational event. Next time we have one of those, make sure you sign up fast. We had a great room of people last night. Even with the weather coming in, it was no issue. And people got to hear how Thomas Helbig has had such a success rate in never having any of his clients lose a penny. Making sure that your retirement is protected and that you go into retirement with an understanding of how it is going to work the best for you. Set up a no cost, no obligation, free informational retirement review with Thomas Helbig and the family business at the Retirement Advisory Group by calling 314-993-9494. If you give them a call at 314-993-9494, just say, I'd like to set up a consultation with Thomas Helbig. Annie was talking about it on the air. And what can you tell me? And they'll get you going through the process. It's really simple. And like I said, go listen to what he has to say. It's not going to cost you anything. Then you can make a decision after you've heard how he has been so successful and what he can do specifically for you. You can make the choice as to what you're going to do next. 314-993-9494, online at retirementkey.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Man, what a great party you're throwing here. This wasp nest is great.
Yeah, man, we got about 70 wasps in here. It's one in, one out.
Too bad we can't fit any more wasps in here. It looks like they're having fun outside, stinging all the kids. Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out, so please visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars. Lose the weight and stop smoking. Only $49.99. Seminars Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express Suite St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. And Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Make sure you're heating your home safely this winter with a heating system check. And for all other heating services, repairs, or if you need a new heating or HVAC system, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Wednesday afternoon, George Gray from The Price is Right will help us play our game, The Price is Wrong. Also, new state treasurer Vivek Malik.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
She said it's cold outside and she hands me my raincoat. She's always worried about things like that. She said it's all gonna end and it might as well be my fault. But she always sleeps when it's raining. And she screams, and her voice is strange. She says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. A nice full show for you today here. If you didn't get to hear Joe Concha, by all means, check out the interview we had with him. It'll be on our podcast if it isn't already. Or you can rewind to 125 and listen to his reaction to all of those topics. Brad, can you list off all the topics that we covered again?
Okay,
you went through most
so
of them.
we talked about laundry. We talked about Biden's documents.
Ironically, laundry first.
Yeah.
And we weren't talking about money.
Biden's documents, Trump's documents, Pence documents, George Santos. We also talked about McCarthy and Schiff and Swalwell. And I think that's all of them.
It was a wild ride.
Yeah.
I like when he said that he doesn't like folding children's clothes because they're so small that they're hard to fold, because that's true.
Do you guys fold? Did you fold baby clothes? What did you do with baby clothes?
No, I think we just threw baby clothes in a drawer at best.
We hang them all up.
Do you? With baby hangers? Or
No,
full-size
with
hangers?
hangers for giants. But yes.
They were hard to get on the main hangers because they're so little.
Why you use children's hangers?
Why?
That's what I mean, the baby hangers.
So this is a weird question.
Is it weirder than that one?
Might be. Baby clothes. Do you have to fold baby clothes, or can you just put them in the drawer? Because isn't the purpose of folding clothes to make them fit in the drawer?
Molly's in 2T stuff, 24-month or 2T, and her stuff is big enough now that it could potentially get wrinkly.
Okay.
But like I said, we hang every piece of her clothes on a hanger, other than like any shirt, dress, jumper. We fold her pants or roll her little pants up. We have so much stuff because we were gifted so much girl clothes when my oldest was born that when I put the 2T clothes, which was part of my laundry crusade over President's Day weekend, or that was MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day. I took out everything that was undersized, everything in there she can fit in. And then we also combed through, before I put it in the closet, it was like only stuff that I knew I would want her to wear, and even less than that. So we have at least one gigantic tote full of 2T stuff, and it was all given to us. It wasn't anything that I ever purchased. It was nice clothes that was given to us that we just had too much of it. So we're just going to donate all that. But you can, sleepers and stuff like that, little outfits, you could put it in a drawer, just toss it in there.
It's got to be tough for you because you have so many kids of similar ages.
Just in general.
Just you have so many kids, period. But the clothes, we've got 2 boys that are 3 years apart, and I can hardly tell the difference between them anymore.
It is difficult. It's awful. It's like mental breakdown level stuff.
It is, for some reason.
I was talking to you before we went to the break about LA County has hired somebody to be the homeless czar to help address the homeless situation there. And the homeless czar is going to have a salary of $430,000.
Oh my gosh. That seems a little high to me. You?
I mean, that's that's a publicly funded paycheck to address the situation of homelessness. And yeah, I mean, if you're talking about LA County, you got to think that the living wage in LA County is different than St. Louis, Missouri, or suburban here. So I like understand that, but whoa.
And do you have hopes? Like, is this a new position or is this one that existed and they're having a new czar now?
She will earn a base salary of $430,000. Her contract is subject to review by the agency's attorneys, according to staff reports. She's leaving her current job as president of the CEO at St. Joseph Center. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to read the whole article here, but it's just amazing to me that that's the solution. If you think about too, a lot of the bloat that comes from publicly funded education money is often in the amount of school districts that exist and administration that fits within the school district. So to me, for an administrator to have a high salary is not in and of itself egregious, depending on how much work they're doing and how much area they cover. But when you start creating more and more and more and more school districts and then having all of these 6-figure salaries that are publicly funded with, massive pensions at an earlier age of retirement than the private sector, then you start going, is this what's best for education in our state or in our area? And if that's the way the system is, what's going to happen is if you decided locally for a local school district to say, we're not going to pay our administrators this much, they don't deserve that much money. Well, they're going to go work somewhere else. So the people who you are going to have, the quality of candidate that you're going to have come apply for that position, if you are paying what you think that they deserve, but the market is bearing otherwise, these costs are inflated so much, and there's so many opportunities out there that it just, at the end, it's like you get yourself into such a systematic process that you can't really get out of unless everybody's willing to put their hands in the middle and agree to it. And that's not ever going to happen. Just listening to Tom DeVore yesterday talking about his lawsuits. And if you go through against J.B. Pritzker for the, gun registration requirements and the bans on selling specific weapons, if you look at who is exempt from those new gun laws that have been put into place on me in the state of Illinois, on Brad and on Ryan, as far as I know, you don't fit any of the, the qualified exceptions. The people who don't have to abide by this law are people who are party to, in many cases, groups that would have union representation that heavily fund Democratic candidates, but would also be incredibly pro-Second Amendment. How do you continue to get the funding from those lobbyist groups like law enforcement, the prison system, these people who will often have the union representation has an enormous influence on pushing money into politics and supporting, in many cases, Democrats who are running. Those unions support them, but the people involved in those unions, they want to keep their guns. They value their Second Amendment, and you are not going to be able to serve both masters. So what they did is they passed the bill and just said those people don't have to abide by it.
Incredible.
It's interesting too, because you said they value their Second Amendment, but those people in those unions, obviously, if they continue to vote for this leadership, don't value your Second Amendment.
But they don't need to, because they would say they don't represent you. They represent these people. I mean, they're seriously just out there advocating for the special interest. Just is the same way as teachers unions. People will look at teachers unions and be like, how is this good for the students and the education of students? And the teachers unions,
they don't care about
they pretty much will go and say, we're here to represent the teacher.
Yeah.
It's not about the students. It's not about improving education. The only way that the teachers union will represent make the forefront priority be what's best for the students' education is if the people in the teachers unions, the members, can collectively influence their unions to represent them as such. And you just don't see that much.
I just keep thinking about the LA County homeless situation. Back to that real quick. If that were to be localized to St. Louis, for instance, which the homeless problem here exists, it's not nearly as bad as it would be in LA County. But if you knew that you were going to give, let's say it's $400,000 to a homeless czar right here in St. Louis.
The new hire is the fourth leader of the countywide Los Angeles Homeless Services Agency in the past year. So definitely not
the
position.
first one. Mm-mm. But even if it was, or it's the fourth one or whatever, if you knew that money was going to go to this person and that they would solve or significantly help the homeless issue, you almost would say that's probably worth it.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's probably more than worth it, but you know what they're going to do is just come up with more reasons to have more porta potties on these corners and stuff like that. They're not going to solve anything.
Here's the other thing, though. When you stop and think about this, whenever there's no longer a homeless problem, guess what you no longer need?
Yeah, they're working themselves out of a job, so they're not going to do it.
I wish they'd create these salaries like you create a contract for Adam Wainwright when he's 42. You're like, here's the league minimum. If you do well, you are going to be paid handsomely.
Yeah.
If not, we'll pay you the prevailing living wage.
Right. That would be, I mean, that's a smart use of taxpayer money.
Yeah. Incentivized contracts. If you can alleviate the homeless pressure on this community by X%, you will achieve this much bonus. If you can, provide some sort of system that encourages the people who are currently homeless to be able to seek some sort of, like rehabilitation, whether it's because of substance abuse or PTSD. In many cases, there are veterans who are homeless who have a very difficult time keeping jobs because of their life circumstances. Like, if you can establish these things that are workable, pay them. If you can't, you get a 1-year contract. Bye.
Yeah, and that should be applied to everything. Prosecutors for crime, anything that's measurable.
Results-based.
Yes. Well, we just solved the world's problems. Annie.
Done. I mean, when I've thought, people talk about me running for office in the chat, and that's very kind of you. But when I've thought about running for office or had discussions about running for office in my private life, the more and more I think about it, the more I wish I could be mayor of St. Louis.
Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? I thought the same thing. Not for myself, but just somebody who really cares, who isn't necessarily doing it for political purposes. They just want to make things better with the right values.
Right here.
It could happen real fast.
Yeah. I'm not on the right side of the river, I don't think, to do that. But I just think that there's, good grief, we would be the number one city in the country that would love and uphold law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had any say in that on day one, any dollar laying anywhere that I could invest in it, it has to start there. My husband's birthday last night, he and I went out. We ate a wonderful dinner at 1818 Chop House in Edwardsville. I highly recommend that place.
Fancy.
Super nice. We are going to go out Saturday. And
Yay.
yeah, I'm excited. We don't really know how to do that. But we were looking at some places downtown, some places that I've been once on my own. But this past weekend, there are kids carjacking places, firing at police officers.
That's incredible, isn't it?
And I mean, we were really reworking our plans potentially because we're like, if we went down there and something bad happened to somebody that we loved and we knew it was a risk to go down, what are we doing? Like, I got kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to go downtown anymore. And I hate to say that publicly, but if I'm not going to say that publicly because I don't want to, disparage this city, how is anything ever going to change here?
Mark Reardon tweeted that out. It was like a tweet of 4 different carjackings all in a row Monday night. And he's a typical Monday night in St. Louis.
Yeah, for sure.
So sad.
But local politics, just think about strengthening the city and improving the city. Oh, that's almost incredibly more attractive to me than trying to fix the state of Illinois or, anything else. Let's do the YouTube live chat poll with Hannah.
All right. Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, is Kevin McCarthy a GOP asset or a liability? 71% of the people voted that Kevin McCarthy is an asset to the GOP.
Wow.
I know.
A little surprised.
71% of the people voted that. 29% of the people voted that Kevin McCarthy is a liability to the GOP. I'll get to some comments. Katie Matthews from YouTube said, McCarthy learned his lesson when he struggled to get enough votes for speaker. He's been quite an asset lately.
Yeah. A little bit of grounding for the speaker to know where he is coming from and know where he
and
needs to go.
And a spotlight on him.
Yeah.
Right. Bill from YouTube said, I was somewhat skeptical, but he's proving himself to be an asset. Michael Goodsell from YouTube said the voter holdouts for speaker was working because it is holding McCarthy accountable to conservatives. Carlo from YouTube said, I voted yes, but only if he keeps his promises.
Well, and you know what? You could do this poll, and we should do this poll regularly to keep him honest, because that's the point of representation, is it's about you. Thank you for being with us today. Seriously, check out the podcast and listen to the 1245 Wiggins America.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
My goodness, must hear. We'll be back tomorrow. Mark Reardon next.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain